like right before you went into the little, it was like a P-shaped street, small, one block. And then he said that the dude said that as soon as you go in right there, that there was like a little market there. That he was like that everything that was stolen in the city and the yeah and the commerce wares with all that shit. That everything ended up there and that you could find anything, bro, like grenades, weapons, jewelry, everything. And I was like, damn, bro, like they have Jake fucked up out there, bro. I was just like,
That should be on purpose.
yeah,
That should be straight up on purpose. And yeah, I had saw a little mini documentary on that shit. It had the 80s and the 90s was terrible, bro. It looked like any other entity in the world, man. Like it was fucked up, bro. Jake was out there leaning. It looked like this. It looked like Houston Beach, Philadelphia times 1,000. You know, times 1,000. And can you get Revelation? Revelation. Is it yeah. Revelation 17 and 16. Hey, all right, Shalom. We want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushai, by Hashem, Dash. We say double honor to the apostles, the bishop elders, our great millstone for teaching the word and teaching sincerity and for reading well. And salutations to our fellow Hakim across the four corners of the globe, preaching and prophesying in the name of Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushai. And we out here at GMSHAWAII. We out here again. We in a secluded area this week. We kind of moved around and stuff. Hopefully we won't get too much traffic or riffraff where we at today. We just gonna go right into it, man. Go ahead.
It's the book of Revelation, chapter 17 and verse 16. It says, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore.
Let's start at 10. And let's start at the top. We're gonna read through a bit of Revelation 17. Go ahead, brother.
Revelation 17 and verse 1. And there came one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters.
And that great whore that sitteth upon many waters is America. Okay? What happened this last week? There was an incident at was it Nord Stream 2? Supposedly it was destroyed. Now they're pointing fingers at America, which it could have been an inside job by the elite to push these nations further to go to war. But America is that whore that sit on the whore. Can you read that again?
Revelation 17 and 1. And there came one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters.
That's right, because there is a great judgment that's coming to this place. Those many waters are the different nations. It's going to say that as we read down. Those many waters are the different people. And she sitteth in these different nations via her military, via her economic arm, her economic strength, via her democracy, okay, and other philosophies. But America has a foothold or a part in many nations. And I had looked up this article, which no one will go into. They were speaking about it. I typed in how powerful is America, man. Because once there's a video Elder Karakazak from Vegas did about the Nord Stream 2 situation. You know, they blame America, these different nations, they don't want to speak against America. They say that they're going to work with America and these other nations or whatever. But it's because America is powerful. And a lot of people don't understand how big of an issue America is. America is the big cog in the wheel for Esau Edom. Yeah, London is the financial arm. The Vatican is the religious arm. But America is that military arm. And you can't do shit without a powerful military, man. And Elder Ariala said, I had asked him today, I was like, I said, Elder, how powerful is America? He said, well, if you watch the algorithms, which I do, I've heard them say in the past that America is extremely powerful to the point where, like, they could say something and it'll get done. You know what I'm saying? And that's because, you know, of that military might. You know, they spend like, what, $600 billion on defense alone. These other nations can't afford to do no shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But America, well, they just write empty. They write open checks, blank checks for America. You know, America can print the money. America's economics is money. Is the world trading currency for oil. Like you can't sell your oil in your money. You can't sell your oil in anybody's money. You gotta sell it in the dollar bill, the OPEC bill, which is the dollar bill. Which that's why America's currency is the world leading currency. There's other currencies that's worth more than it, like I think the euro is worth a little bit more, and at a time the British pound used to be worth a little bit more, but now the British pound is having issues, major issues. Okay, so again, there's a great judgment coming for this place, man. See, what it's like I explain it like this. When you work at a store, right? When you work at a store, you have a different perspective of that retail store that you're working at than a person that's a customer. A person that's a customer, yeah, they can make a complaint. A person that's a customer, yeah, they can shop, they can come into the store and peruse. But you know what's happening in the back end. Like, you know what it took if you had to put the clothes on the rack and shit. So you have an employee's perspective of that store. Then there's the manager who has both an employee perspective as well as a slight company perspective of the store. But then it's the CEO. The CEO of the whole company got a way different perspective. They know how much money is coming in, how much money going out. They know what they can afford to lose in theft. They know what they can afford to lose in sales. They know how much money on average a store brings in, your particular store. And that really goes to the district manager. So like, I work at Ross, right? Say I work at Ross, the district manager, they have a district manager. He manages all the stores on this particular island. He knows inventory, he knows what's in them stores, how much is in them stores, what's supposed to be in them stores. You don't see the district manager all the time. You might see him doing inventory time. You might see him doing major joints. He or she might walk through the store. They have a different perspective of that store than the average individual. So the average individual in America, they have a consumer's perspective of America. You know, yeah, you got people trying to talk and dive into certain aspects of understanding, and some people are good at it. A lot of people aren't. And you can look at TikTok and see that. They have just like so their perspective on how the world really works. Like for somebody like that one dude that ran down on we'll get back to the scripture, but that one dude that ran down on Jacob Rothschild, he talked about the Federal Reserve. What? Like Jacob Rothschild looked at that nigga like, what? The Federal Reserve? And he started to say something to him. He's like, man, nah, you're not worth it. You're not on the level. For you to say that the Federal Reserve is this, that, and the third, and pull on these strings, and his family's behind it, you don't really know too much. You know, they own all banking industries across the world. Fuck the country, the world. And they own banking institutions in major portions of the world, like America. And so America's influence can be seen across the globe. Your so-called Edomite influence can be seen across the globe. So when America falls, it's gonna take the whole fucking thing with it, like a it used to be Jenga, like I don't know, you remember Jenga? You got the tall tower, and you pull one of them joints off, it might stay up.
Because America's like, you know, like the base of the whole system, man. You know, because it has like you were going into, it has that military might. It has, you know, a policy set in place because of its military might.
Yep.
And it's also the biggest consuming nation, which is basically feeding these other nations, man. These other and all these other nations that are major manufacturers, man. America is the one that's giving them their money, because who's the ones that are consuming those items? Americans, man.
Yep.
You know, these other nations, like, you know, you have other, you know, first world countries, but they don't consume as much as America, man. America is such a big consuming nation, man, that is like China or whoever, any country can make anything and get super rich. That's why the scriptures say that the nations became rich with America, with Babylon, man.
Yeah, with her merchandise.
Her merchandise, that's right, because they just America just consumes. They don't make anything, so it's like we have to buy stuff from every other nation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's like if like you mentioned, if America falls, man,
When America
everybody
falls,
or when America falls, everybody's gonna suffer, man.
and it's gonna be affected. And you think about it, America's population is they claim is at what 300 something million people. Just that's alone. So you know the strength is not in the people, man. It's in the institutions. It's in the might, the military might, the economic might, the witchcraft. That's heavy. All of that shit is heavy here, man. People come here to get rich. People want to come to America. You go to these other countries, man. Yeah, they're standing up, but a lot of these countries are third world countries with an army. That's pretty much it. And they're slaves to the U.S. economic system, man. Like they had a documentary back in the day, and the dude he was speaking about economic hitmen. Look that up on YouTube. Economic hitmen, which America was sending them into these South American countries, these African countries, and they basically blackmail them, man. And it's always somebody that's willing to sell out and do what the powers that be want them to do. Where is the IMF located? Ask the average American, hey, where's the IMF located? They don't know. That shit's in Washington, D.C. IMF is in Washington, D.C., but yet you got someone, I forget the woman's name, Lagarde, Christine Lagarde or whatever. She used to be the head of the IMF, bro. And she's speaking that fucking, that European accent. You would think that the IMF was in the middle of Germany somewhere, bro. Nope, that shit's right in America, man.
It's like this movie, Our Brand is Crisis with Sandra Bullock. You seen it?
No, I ain't seen
it. It's like basically it's like they sent this American team down to South America. I think it's like Mexico or Peru, some shit, to basically set up a candidate to sell the country to the IMF and shit.
Damn, we gotta watch that.
Yeah, man, and that's basically what Esau be doing, man. You know, they create this opposition in these countries that are not in their full control, and then they create a puppet leader, and they make it to where he's the one that has to be followed, and then once that individual gets empowered, then boom, America takes control of that region, man.
Yeah. So there's a huge judgment coming for this place, all right? And this is real quick, this Jeremiah 51:7. Babylon had been a golden cup, talking about her strength. Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations were drunken of her wine. Therefore, the nations are mad at her wine is her witchcraft, her democracy. Because a lot of these nations, all these nations talk about democracy. This is a democracy. Where you get that language from? America, man. Okay? So these nations, they're mad. They're drunk off of it. In the NLTs, it says Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, the Al-Bashman's hand. A cup that made the whole earth drunk. And there's a scripture that says they're drunk but not with wine. They stagger with strong drink but not with wine. Speaking about our people. And that strong drink are those different philosophies, man. Those idol worshiping philosophies, man. Those wicked heathen cultures and the things that come out of that shit. Mainly the idolatry. Because everything you do in this world, if you're not doing it the way Yahweh Shem Shai or attempting or trying to do it the way Yahweh Shem Shai established it, if you're doing it some other way, you're doing it in idol worshiping, man. And you don't know that. A lot of people don't know that. I was telling somebody recently, like, yo, when you look at sex, man, a lot of the so-called sex act people do, all the butt eating, all the sodomy, that shit go back to idolatry worship, man. People in the ancient world used to, and even in this current world that we live in on a high level, they do that shit to invoke demonic energy, man. They eat shit, piss, semen, blood, you know what I'm saying? All that eating booty like groceries, that shit was a thing a couple years ago. Everybody talking about, oh, you gotta eat the booty. You know what I'm saying? Well, that shit go back to the Satan's kiss, man. Look it up.
That whole, what's the name of the book of the positions and all that bullshit?
Oh yeah, the Kama Sutra.
Yeah, all that shit goes back to, heathenistic cultures, Hinduism, a bunch of bullshit. It's like yoga too, man. You have people doing yoga and shit, and when you start getting deep into yoga, man, and they start telling you to, clear your mind, and then they start talking about the chakras and all this shit. All that shit is nothing but witchcraft, man. And then you might say, oh well, we're doing this to keep ourselves healthy and all this shit, but then the true ways of keeping your body, your temple clean, you're not following after, man. But you go and do some witchcraft, some a bunch of wickedness, you know, and you end up what? Becoming an idol worshiper to those things. The same thing with religion, you know.
So it's called Osculum Infame is the name of the witch's supposed ritual greeting upon meeting the devil. The name means a shameful kiss or a kiss of shame, since it involved kissing the devil's anus, his other mouth. According to folklore, it was the kiss that allowed the devil to seduce women. And who talks about getting their booty eating women?
Oh yeah.
That's seduce a woman. Oh, that feels good. A woman.
The men do it too.
Yeah, well, the niggas are effeminate in their feet, man. These men are effeminate in their feet, and they're a part of this world, man.
Right.
So that's the spirit that they be into. Now, you know, you kissing your woman and you doing whatever you do with your woman. That's what you do with your woman, but it's certain places that you don't go, and that's one of them. You know what I'm saying? That is one of them. You know, and so that's Satan's kiss, man. You know, and that's what they do. That's part of, you know, that's a American thing, but then that's also these heathens get into it too. You know, so it says Babylon has been a golden cup in Yahweh Bashim Al-Shah's hand. And it says a cup that made the whole earth drunk. The nations drank Babylon's wine and it drove them all mad. And that's what you see going on. That's why these nations have such a great instability. You got nations that hate this place because of what it did to their nations or their countries. You know what I mean? You don't see it because it's on a lot of that inflamed or incensed emotion come from the grassroots, the people that's on the ground that's catching the hell. But the governments, they ain't really speaking out against it. These governments, they're with the shits, man. A lot of these governments were set up by Esau. So America is like they have a saying called too big to fail. And it's basically too big to fail means an institution that if it's so big that if it fails, it will take down everything. So what these governments do, they prop them up. They give them bailouts, like during the 2008 crisis. What's this dude? I forget this dude's name. I want to say it began with an S. Anyway, he was a Fed chairman, and this nigga, I don't know if it was Bernanke. It was one of them. He was the Fed chairman, and I think his name was Ben Bernanke, not the S dude, but it was Ben Bernanke. And they gave a $700 billion. Let me see what he looked like. Yeah, that's him. Yeah, Ben Bernanke. He showed the camera. Yeah, that dude Ben Bernanke, he was there when they gave $700 billion bailout to all these different companies like Fannie Mae, Sally Mae. Those are a lot of those loan institutions. Mainly the banks. All the major banks got a piece of that $700 billion bailout. While America was in a recession, a steep decline, you know? And we're in a recession now. A lot of people don't understand it, but you are in one, man. Look at the housing market. Look at the inflation and food prices. Look at the lack of employment. You know, look at the instability in your money. That's a recession, man. When interest rates hike up. You know, so it says back in Jeremiah 51:7, Babylon had been a golden cup in Yahweh Bashim Al-Shah's hand and made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her? Take balm for her pain. If so be, she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go everyone into his own country, because when they see that the ship is really sinking, all these people that got anything to do financially, economically, financially, anything going on in America, if they're not from here, they're going to be getting the fuck out. And best believe you me, they already got the memo. Like these billionaire tech company leaders, these a couple of years ago, all these Fortune 500 CEO heads just abruptly resigned, and they just went away. You ain't seen them. Where they at? And these motherfuckers are making hundreds of millions of dollars hand over fist, man. And they just suddenly quit their job. Why is that? Because they already got the memo early. They got it way years down the line. So they prepared. They got these deep underground military bunkers. They hunkering down. Or they might be moving around, waiting to get that message. Like you see that movie 2012, where all the wealthy people got the message. Matter of fact, a better one is the Kingsman, the first Kingsman. That was the best one. Where at the end, all these superstars and these billionaires, they got a message, hey, to come, shit's about to go down. So what do they want? They want into this a mountain military retreat base, basically. The whole side of the mountain opened up and different people's planes was flying in, and they had to give a code word or whatever, or a biometric scan, and they all had a chip in their head, which ended up blowing up in the end. And what was that? The nuclear, they made it funny. They tried to make it funny like it was a clown thing, but that shit is really real. Anybody that take that chip, you're gonna blow up in nuclear fire. You're gonna die in this nuclear destruction. But but at the end of the day, the point of the matter is that these people, they already know this is coming. So it says, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us everyone go into his own country. For her judgment reacheth unto heaven and is lifted up even to the skies. So they want to try to escape this judgment that's coming. And they know that it's coming from Yahweh Shah.
Yeah, and if you look at like these economic experts, a lot of them, majority of them, they know that something's gonna come down the line. But they're hoping it's gonna be, like past recessions and past scenarios where it was like, yeah, we had a couple of years that were down, but then it went back up, and we're gonna make money out of this, or we're just gonna have to come up with strategies. But the common ground is that they know that something bad is gonna happen, and since they have money, they could so prepare for it. But truly, they don't know what really is about to go down, man. Which is what is that whole digitalization of everything, man. Yeah. And in order for Esau to do that, he has to bring chaos upon the world, man. He has to, create wars, famines, all these things that the Lord, Yahweh Shah, already told us were gonna happen, man. And you're not gonna escape those things, man, because again, if the economy implodes, what happens? Your money's worthless. All your real estate, all the shit that you have is worthless. If Esau decides to say, oh, we're in a national emergency, we're gonna give the power over to FEMA. FEMA got executive orders in place to what? To where like you basically don't even own yourself.
Yep.
And the Lord spoke about all these things, man. The chaos that's gonna befall this place, and all of the world, because it's not just here in Babylon the Great. It's gonna get the worst of it, but it's gonna be worldwide that these things are gonna be happening, man.
Yeah. It's so. I was gonna make a point of something the brother was saying, but they already preparing for that. See, that it's not an if, it's just a when. What they're gonna do is put you into digital slavery. They're getting rid of all of this shit that you see today, ownership of anything. What Klaus Schwab says, you will own nothing and you will love it or you will like it. You know what I'm saying? He's telling you that you can't eat regular meat. You gotta eat bugs and shit. Carbon footprint, carbon this, carbon that. I saw something recently saying that basically carbon is actually good for the earth, man. That's why when you breathe out oxygen, it turns into carbon and through the trees. And then it goes into the atmosphere and into the ground. And in places that have high levels of carbon within it, it's good for planting foods, man, and crops. But if you lessen the carbon, no crops is going to grow. Yields are going to cease, man. But yet this man is telling you that carbon is a bad thing. Carbon emissions and all this other shit. What's the dude, King Charles, he said that that they have to take a military approach to handling this climate change, man. A military approach, man. And he's with the Great Reset. He wants a Great Reset. It's the reason why that British pound is tanking right now. And they said that also too, what they're in the process of doing right now, they got to change the British pound format because they got to put his face on the money. he got to be put on the face of the money. So they gonna take all the money with his mom's face on it. That shit ain't gonna be worth shit. So instead of, and they said that's gonna take about a year and a half or some shit like that, and it's expensive in itself to do. But guess what? He's with the reset. He's gonna be like, nah, just get the digital shit popping. Let's get that. That's why they tanking that. That's why the British. Another reason why the British pound may be tanking as well, because they're gonna make it so less of a value that they're gonna have to bring a new situation in, and they're gonna use Britain to bring it in. Remember, London is the financial arm, which London is not. It's its own city-state. It's separate from Britain and UK, but they all working together, man. The super elite, man. The Rothschilds, them niggas own every fucking thing, including them. Which those elite families are offshoots of the Rothschilds anyway. They're like a big octopus. What's that? That Hydra in the Marvel comic series, man. Where they be like Hell Hydra and shit. You cut one off and another goes back. Another 3 or 4 tentacles go back because they got their families spread out, man. And they don't all have the same name. Go ahead, brother.
Back in Revelation chapter 17 and verse, I saw that one again. It says, and there came one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication.
And you see that? What's a great example of that? The LGBTQ ABC agenda, man. That shit is everywhere, man. You go to Brazil, Colombia, all in South America, man. Them people ain't fighting against that shit. They're accepting. They want that abortion. That shit is huge, man. It went from America all the way down, up north, east and west, and now all these nations, they're proponents of that shit, meaning that they want that shit, man. That's a philosophy of drunkenness, man. Women's liberation. Women's lib, feminism. That shit came out of America. I think feminism actually started in Israel, the whole thought of it, the concept of it. But then they used America to push it, man. You know, they empower these women and get these women to lose their minds. And families are destroyed behind it, man. It's hard to trust these females because they're all succubus. They're trying to get something for nothing. You know, they're trying to break men, destroy men and families, man. And that's why you see a lot of these single women out here, man. It ain't because that they was doing the right thing and their man was just a cheating bastard. Nah, man. A lot of these women, you can't put them in, you can't sit them down and read them too long, man, because they fuck around and they gonna kick back, man. Where's that mentality come from? America, man. Like Hakeem said, where can we find a woman with such grace and such? No, he said, where are you gonna go to find a woman that think for herself? That's you know, she's not only gonna obey and make your loins fire, but she's gonna have an opinion, man. He said America. He didn't say China. He didn't say Africa. He was in Africa, bro. They got Africa's a continent. But this nigga had to get on a plane and go to fucking America so he can get him an over-opinionated piece of shit nigga woman, man.
Get himself the best of the worst.
And she wasn't even the best. She was literally the worst, man. She was already another man's wife. Here it is, you had the best or the worst at the crib. Amani, man, this bitch was willing to do any and everything for you, bro. She was raised to appease this nigga, and he didn't want that shit, man. Asked the bitch what her favorite food is. She said whatever you like. Hey, that's good. Because ask your bitch what kind of food she like, man. You be there all day, it's gonna turn into an argument. Here it is, you trying to do something nice for the hoe, and then you ask like, go take her out to eat, what you want to eat. I don't know. So, but Amani said, whatever you like. And she gonna eat that shit up. What kind of music do you like? Whatever kind of music you like. So she was in order, and she said, ever since I was born, I was raised to serve you, man. You know? And that's good. But in this world, that shit is wicked. A woman that serves her man is wicked. You got women out here now trying to get on a bandwagon, talking about it and shit. But a lot of you women, you still westernized. So again, these nations are drunk from that kind of shit. Those are just a few examples, man. Listen to the music, man. That shit that's coming out today is everywhere now, man. Drill. Everybody want to be a drill rapper, man. Everybody want to be a drill rapper. You just killing each other, shooting each other up. This one rapper said that niggas in Philly don't want to rap like Beanie Siegel niggas, because niggas don't care about that kind of lyricism shit. They want to talk about drilling motherfuckers, killing niggas, man. Everybody got a sweatsuit on and an air gun, and they're just pointing it at the camera, you know, doing all this shit, or real guns, destroying each other. Now go to Africa, they doing the same shit. Go to Europe, they doing the same shit with knives. You know what I'm saying? Go to Germany, France, England, same shit, man. So these nations are drunk, man. Go ahead, brother.
It says, verse 3, so he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns.
Yeah, so those, we're going to go into those, well, I got the song. Hey, bro.
Man, because you know, ultimately the Lord's not just gonna bring judgment just because. You know, this world, the scriptures say that what that goes. Let me get it real quick. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 60, and I'll start at 1. It says, "Arise, shine, for thy light is come, and the glory of Yahweh by GMSHAWAII is risen upon thee. For behold, darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people." You know, and this is what's going on, man. We living in a time of that gross darkness, man. Never in the history of humanity, man, is there been such a level of wickedness upon the earth, man. You know? Because today with the technology that Esau has acquired, ultimately through Yahweh GMSHAWAII, they've been able to push their philosophies, their policies, all throughout the four corners of the earth, man. Back in the ancient world, if you had an empire being ruled a certain way, you know, it was always by what? By word to mouth. You know, it was like, all right, let's conquer this city. Let's send a message over there to give basically a message to this kingdom, to that kingdom, you know, and it was a limited reach to where you could get to, man, you know. But now via the internet, the radio, the television, Esau is influencing everybody within seconds, man. You know, you have a generation of kids growing up now, man, you know, being shoved all these philosophies daily, on a daily, man, which is nothing but wickedness, man. So the Lord's gonna bring that judgment. Why? Because of the deeds that are being done in this place, man. You know, and we're gonna go into that the whore that sitteth in the scarlet-colored beast. You know, which ultimately is Babylon the Great.
Can you read that again about the seven?
So this is back in Revelation 13 and verse 3. It says, "So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and saw a woman sit upon the scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns."
Yeah, so the 7 heads are the 7 governments, or the seven governments, okay, or the kingdoms ruled by Esau. You got the name where you had the Greek Empire, you had the Greek Empire first, then you got the Roman Empire, and from the Roman Empire, you got from the Roman Empire, Germania Minor and Germania Major, and then that morphed into the Spanish, then the French, and then the British. These are the 7 horns, and out of the 7 horns came an 8th one, an 8th beast, an 8th horn, a little horn, and that was America, because America came out of Britain, all right? And they also said, and then the 10 horns, give me that portion again.
It says, "Son, he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns."
Yeah. And the 10 horns are those, the 10 horns represent the 10 common markets of European nations, man. So you got the 10 common markets, or the European Economic Community, which end up turning into the EU. All right, and you can read about the Treaty of Rome. Those are all European nations, heads of European nations, markets that came together, and they put something together called the EEC. And it was established in 1958. Today, the EEC is known as the EU, or the European Union. And then you have the 10 horns, goes back to Belgium, Denmark, France, Italy, Luxembourg, Netherlands, Greece, Spain, and Portugal, England, and Ireland, and West Germany, man. Those are the beginning of the 10 horns. And guess what? These 10 horns, they still exist today. And they're going to turn, a lot of these countries, if not all of these countries, are allies to America, man. And they're going to turn on this bitch, man. And why? Because I was watching this documentary. Not documentary, you ever heard of John Todd? Look up the John Todd tapes. Yeah. John Todd said in the 70s, he said that, I don't know if it was the 70s that they did that tape or the 80s. But anyway, whenever they did the tape, John Todd said the Third World War is going to be started behind an energy crisis, man. That's what he said. He said an energy crisis. And I was like, wait a minute, we living through that right now.
Is that dude that was like a warlock?
Yeah, the nigga that was a witch, a high-level witch, man, a warlock for the Rothschilds, man. Nigga said he was all up in the Rothschilds' house, and he made moves on behalf of the Rothschilds, man. Because see, the Rothschilds don't believe in Yahweh Shah the way we believe in him. They believe they can fight against him and defeat him. They believe that Satan holds the greatest power because these devils, these different Edomite nations, the heads of these nations, as well as the head families that rule this world, these different nations, and these heads of these different families, okay, they deal with Satan face to face, man. Like we dealing with Yahweh Shah face to face through Yahweh Shah, man. You know what I'm saying? Through the spirit. So they dealing with Satan face to face. They got a seat. He actually said it when he went to the Rothschild's house, man. And at their table, they're talking about this 13. The guy asked about the 13 families. He said at their table, they got 13 seats, man. But that 13th seat is empty. It's for Satan, man. So the demons, I don't know if the demon Satan show up or a demon that say he's Satan show up on Satan's behalf. And he sits there and he communes with them face to face, man. And that's why they believe that this enterprise is going to work. See, they know that what we're saying is true. But because they deal with them demons on the left-hand side so closely, they believe that, you know, it's got to be, they don't believe in the sense that
they know it's true, but they believe that Satan really is warring with the Most
yeah.
Satan is fooling them.
Yeah, big time. And he gave them all his technology, through these different demons, but that came from Yahweh Shah. And we telling them, and a lot of times like these videos that we're speaking on, this epistle right now, guess what? Guess who the first people to tune in? The super elite, man. Right. They see us standing up. Oh shit, they standing up. Because they didn't get this information to us. They didn't disseminate this information to us. This came through the spirit of Yahweh Shah, man.
You gotta actually, you know, think about how deep that is, brother.
Yeah.
That the super elite, the families that control the whole earth, these motherfuckers control everything. From your food, the energy, the militaries, everything. Mm-hmm. These motherfuckers have been trying to hide this truth from everybody, man. Mm-hmm. They're not gonna go and just tell some, oh yeah, let's go tell some of these Negroes and Latinos about this top secret level, you know, information we have. No, they're never gonna do that, man. So imagine how big of a miracle it is for Yahweh Shah to have had reveal these information to the hopeful elect, man, which ultimately we believe are the prophets, starting off with, you know, Abba Bivens, the apostles and others that they know. So man, it's a miracle, man.
Yes, that's a super miracle. Because the average Jake wouldn't know nothing about this, man. That's why when we get together, man, we can talk for hours, man. Hours will go by, bro. Yeah. And then next thing you know, you're like, God damn, I gotta go, man. Like shit. Why? Because we'll talk. We'll start out. It always like this. We start out talking. Hey, how you doing, brother? You know, the introductions, the niceties and stuff. And next thing you know, bam, we doing a sit down. Or we talking so deep, it could be a sit down because we talking about things that are actually happening in the spirit, man.
Right.
Why? Because this thing is really happening. This thing was written about thousands of years before we even came on earth as we are today.
That's right.
Can you read that again?
Back in Revelation 17 and verse 3, it says, "So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sitting
And that
upon
woman,
a scarlet-colored beast."
that woman represents America. She's the great whore. Go ahead.
It says, "Full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns." And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls.
That's so she looked pretty. America is that pretty whore. She's like a virgin. She's a whore, but she has never been overcome by different nations as she does other nations. And she's beautiful. She's made. I met this woman that works at the one of them convenience stores out here. She's from the Philippines, and she said before she came over here, she thought American streets were paved with gold. She said out her own mouth, bro. She thought American streets were paved with gold until she saw what's here. She said, "There's a bunch of homeless people here. It's like the Philippines, man. Only it's just the money is stronger." But she in her mind, she thought this place was laid out, and there's actually people out there that really believe that. You got people that live in these so-called third world countries, which a third world country just a country that doesn't have a middle class, or very slight middle class, or none at all.
It's like you have the whores that are in the hood, like in the crack houses and all that shit. They're dirty, and then you have whores like
high-end escorts.
Like like you could say, I guess, Marilyn Monroe and these hoes, but they still what? They still whores, man.
And they're abominable.
That's right. They do the same thing. So it's like there's a song. It always comes to my mind when I think of America, man, by a singer, and he's a Issacharite, and the name of the song is called the Golden Prison, and he's talking about America, how he left his hometown and he came here, and it's just a prison made out of gold.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Yeah, so ultimately, even through the spirit, man, Jake knows that this place is wicked. It's just like, yeah, it's better than back home, but it's still fucking shit.
Yep. That's too far. It's too far to drive home and come back. It's not too far, but I went to the bar.
Maybe in the
Where?
gas station.
Maybe. We'll sit in a little bit.
It says, "And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication." Which we went into what those things were.
Yeah, her philosophy, democracy, her religion, her idolatry, her homosexuality, the lies, adultery, covetousness, murder. Because those things are big here in America, man. And this is some of the things, man. It's good that we got these signs, man. We ain't been through these signs for a while, but these are good tools, man. You got NATO and the EU. NATO is the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Read this right here.
It was established August 4, 1949, consisting of 19 nations: Greece, Italy, Spain, France, West Germany, United Kingdom, Portugal, Belgium, Netherlands, Luxembourg, Canada, Norway, Denmark, Iceland, Turkey, United States, Poland, Hungary, and Czech Republic.
Yeah, and a lot of these different nations are the same. Some of the main nations, the ECC or the EU, or those 10 horns, man.
Right.
And this was an agreement that if any of these nations were attacked by Russia, then they would all come together and attack Russia. Or if any other country would attack them, they would do the same thing. You've seen a similar thing like that happen during Iraq and Afghanistan. A lot of these EU nations, NATO nations, they came together with America, and they went to war with America against these so-called boogeymen. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 5, it says, "And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon, the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth."
Yep.
It says, "And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyrs of Yahushua."
Because who were the saints? We are the Israelites, man. Our blood is steeped in this land. Even here in Hawaii. Even here in Hawaii, man. Anywhere one Israelite drop, hey, that's enough.
The way that Harley got decked out was what? Through the blood of the Israelites.
Slavery, genocide, forced migration, extreme land theft. Okay? And the martyrs, some of us are going to actually have to die because we refuse to take that MOTB, man. You know? And even before that, you got martyrs that already passed away. Abba Bivens. And you got brothers that passed away out here, man. And even in our time, you know, brothers, that blood that's spilled, they're martyrs, man. You know, it was some fucking nut-ass, dirty-ass Muslims that put their hands on Abba Bivens, man, and beat him up so bad that he died, man. You know? And I'm sure they were set up by the elite. It was sent by the elite to get them out of the way, man. But it was too late. The damage, the so-called damage had already been done. The word had already been spread, man. Like now. And that's why you don't see us on TV like that. A movement this big, you would notice it, man. I mean, it's popping up in every country. It's proliferated all of America. You can go to the SPLC's website and they'll show the Southern Poverty Law Center. They got all of us on there, bro. Even before the brother came, I didn't even know they was watching me. I was just by myself doing the work. Then a brother came. Next thing I know, we on a fucking poverty. What the fuck? And we don't see these people, bro. We don't see them people. They watch the videos though. That show that somebody, they are watching the videos, man. Because this thing is spreading like wildfire, man. But they're not talking about it because they're not ready to talk about it. When they talk about it, it's going to be when they demonizing us, when they lying on us, setting us up. Our own family and kin going to turn against us, man. Your same friends. That's why we don't really deal with people in a world like that, man. Unless we got to via working or just do or managing ourselves in this world. A lot of times we just fall back from these people, man. Because these going to be the same people that turn against us when all hell breaks loose, and then they blame us for it, man. We're not a violent extremist group. We don't teach about none of that shit, bro. We telling you what the Lord's going to do to this place. We can do nothing. We're worms, man. We're like defenseless, man. Anything and everything can happen to us if the Lord willed it to be so, man. You know?
And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyrs of Yahushua. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. Because it was a great kingdom, man. You know, Babylon the Great, you know, America is basically the most powerful, the most powerful nation, the most powerful kingdom, man. That ever existed, man. You know, you can look back at the kingdoms of the earth, man, but none of them were as powerful and technologically advanced as Babylon the Great, man. That's why, you know, the apostle John looked with great admiration. It says, and the angel said unto me, wherefore didst thou marvel? I will tell thee the mystery of the woman and of the beast that carrieth her, which had the 7 heads and the 10 horns. That's right. It says, the beast that thou sawest was and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit and go into perdition. And they that dwell on the earth shall wonder, whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world, when they behold the beast that was and is not and yet is. That's right. And this is America. What does it say that it was and is not? Because this is the revival of what is the Roman Empire, man. You know, America and basically the beast system have created basically the Roman Empire all over again, updated, man. You know, Rome 2.0. And this is where all these philosophies are coming from, because everything is recycled, man. You know, the scripture tells us that there is nothing new under the sun. So what did America do? Edom through America, they revived the Roman Empire, man. You know, and then they added all these other philosophies, these heathenistic ways from all the heathen nations, man, from all the other empires that existed, man, from the Babylonian, from the Assyrian, from the Medo-Persian, from the Greek, you know, from you know the other nations, Moab, Elam, and they combined everything together, man. That's why they're like we read earlier. It says that gross darkness has covered the earth, man. You know, and we have this kingdom now that is what that the worst that has ever been upon the face of the planet, man. You know, that's why we see the things that we're seeing now, man. Such a high decay in the morality of the people. You know, people don't even have no damn common sense. You know, Esau made the world so dependent on them that people don't even, they can't think for themselves no more, man. If you sit down with somebody and have a conversation that requires critical thinking, man, it's like you watch these people like have a fucking like a mental breakdown, man. It's like their circuits are going like haywire, man. Like, what the fuck is this person talking about? You know? And it's because of what Esau has created, man. Ultimately, it's Yahweh GMSHAWAII, but he used Esau to create this, man. So that he could establish that new system, the NWO that's gonna be led by the MOTB. You know, it says verse 9. And here is the mind which hath wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains, which is what we were going into earlier with the brother, which those 7 heads will be 7 Edomite empires. It says, the 7 heads are 7 mountains on which the woman sitteth. It says, and there are 7 kings. 5 are fallen, and 1 and the other is not yet come. That's right. So, which ones have fallen? You have Germania, Germania Major, the French, the Spanish, the Germans, and the Greeks, and which are left, the British and the Romans, which again, Rome has came back via America, you know. So it says, and one is waiting, one is and is not yet come, and Salakia. Let me read that again. And there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen, and 1 is, and the other is not yet come. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space. That's right. So that he cometh and continue with a short space is that Roman king. It says, and the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th, and is the 7th, and goeth into perdition. That's right, that Roman Empire, which again, Babylon the Great is that beast that was and is not. It says, and the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but received power as kings 1 hour with the beast, which are these 10 nations that make up the ECC, man. Again, Belgium, Denmark, France, Italy, Luxembourg, Netherlands, Greece, Spain, England, and West Germany. You see, and these nations receive power. Why? Because via the beast, man, they become what? First world countries, you know, strong economic nations. It says, Slakia. Verse 13, these have one mind and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. That's right, and they did it through what? establishing treaties with NATO and the EU, which again, ultimately, America is the one that has the last say within NATO and the EU, man. That's what we were going into. How strong is America? America has such a big influence through their military might, through their economics, with the petrodollar, with the power of consumption, because it's what gives these other nations power, man. You know, the money to run their countries. You know, it says these shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them. For the Lord of Lords and King of Kings, and they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful. That's right. So all these nations are gonna make war with the Lamb, with Yahweh Shah. First and foremost, they're gonna do it with the servants, with trying to stop this word from coming out. You know? But ultimately they're preparing to do what? To face Yahweh Shah, to face Yahweh, you know, in his second coming, man. Which Lord willing we'll get into that in Second Esdras, the 13th chapter, man. Because everything that these nations are doing is what? Preparing for the MOTB and preparing for the return of Yahweh, man. Because they know that the Lord's gonna come back. They know that the so-called UAPs, you know, are out there, and they're preparing for it, man. You know, it says, and ultimately, if they don't prepare, there's a saying. It's not better safe than sorry, but there's another saying escaped my mind. But let's use better safe than sorry as an example. You know, you have the government officials acknowledging that the UFOs, the chariots of the Lord, are out here, man. That they're watching what they're doing. You know, they're popping up in places like Area 51, or places where they're doing experimental things, and they're messing with their equipment, man. So they're like, damn, these motherfuckers are out here surveilling us, doing something. So let's prepare to fight them, because if we don't, guess what? Our plans are gonna go bad. So they're preparing. They're prepared. They're trying to do their best to see what Yahweh Shah via the chariots are up to, man. And they're developing weapons to try to fight the Lord. And all this is written in the scriptures, you know? And we're just telling our people, like, look, this is what's gonna happen, you know? But if you don't repent and come back, man, you're gonna be caught up in all of this, man. In the digitalization of the world, which is gonna lead into you receiving the MOTB, and ultimately you're gonna be caught up in this war that the Lord's gonna have with the rulers of this earth. You know, it says, verse 15, Revelation 17 and 15, and he said unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. That's right. So this beast is ruling over all nations, man. Because there is no nation in the world that is not ruled by policy pushed out through NATO and the EU, man. Because NATO and the EU were established to what? To maintain order in the world, man. You know, we mentioned earlier, they were created so what? So that if any tyrant country or evil country was to attack any other nation, they would come together to protect it. As a matter of fact, let's look up what is the purpose of NATO and the EU. It says, what is the purpose of NATO and the EU? It says, in recent years, the two organizations have developed closer cooperation focused on concrete assaults and improved security for European citizens. This ranges from cyber defense and addressing hybrid threats through maritime security to building up the capacities of partners beyond our borders. Yeah, you see, so basically to ensure security for the European citizens, man. You know, and ultimately America's in the mix. In there, you have South American countries that are also allies to these other nations. So basically, it's a net of so-called protection, so that there could be some sort of peace in the world, man. You know, that's why countries don't just go out there and I'm gonna bomb this country. You know, you have Americans always saying, oh well, if they do something, we'll just nuke them. Like, that's not the fucking answer, man. You nuke any country, they have allies, you know, that are stronger, bigger than them. So you can't just go out there and just nuke or do whatever the fuck you want to a country, because they're allied unto other countries, man, that can affect or create a bigger war and have, you know, terrible outcomes, which ultimately is what's going to happen via the prophecy. You know, the scriptures say that the least of the nations shall draw them out, speaking about Israel's going to throw out America, but ultimately that's how it works, you know. Let's go back to Revelation 17. It says, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the woman, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire. That's right. And what is this speaking about? This is speaking about these nations, the 10 horns that we spoke, that we mentioned them, they're gonna turn on America, man. And we see why they're gonna turn on them, because of the violation of policy, you know, the breaking of treaties. America basically says, oh yeah, we're gonna do this and do that, but then once it's not benefiting from, put an example, Iran, you had nations like Iran, China, that went into these armed deals or armed nuclear weapon treaties with America. Basically, you can't do no more nuclear weapons. And guess what? America was doing it, and these nations stopped the funding for those weapons and made those nations weaker. And now that these nations see, like, damn, well, America's not fucking do it, fuck it. We're not gonna do it. We're gonna violate the treaty, you know? And these are some of the reasons why America, Babylon the Great, is gonna be destroyed by its allies, man. Like it says here, it says, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn. Right, man. Everything that America does is for their well-being, for their benefit. And when they break these treaties, they don't consider like, well, fuck it, these nations are gonna do this, because they really think that nobody's gonna stand up to the bully of the block, man. But they are. You know, the scriptures say, let's get it real quick, because now America's not the only nation that has nuclear capability, man. This is the book of Isaiah 14 and verse 10. It says, all they, which is this nation, shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? And why? Because, again, there was a time when only America and Russia were nations with nuclear capability, man. So basically, they were like bullying everybody. Oh, you gotta do this, you know, because we have, if you retaliate, there's gonna be severe consequences. And the fears of damn, we don't want to get nuked, just like it happened with Japan. Nations would just agree to whatever, man. But now all these other nations have nuclear capabilities, and they're standing up and saying, you know what, fuck it, man. That shit is not convenient for us. You just trying to come out here and take our stuff and, you know, set set rules that benefit you but not us. So fuck it, we're not gonna follow after that shit. Because now they know that what? That they have nuclear capability. Let's see how many nations have nuclear capability. It says well, there's a couple. It says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Can you brothers hear me? The stream cut off. I mean, I could hear on my end, but if you brothers can, Baba Gushad, just let me know if it's good. The stream. But yeah, man, going back, I'll stand in the back of the camera for a second. I just want to. But like we were going into, man, you have these weaker nations that now have nuclear capability, man, and they're standing up to America, man. Even these allied nations that allied with America for protection, man. So again, Revelation 17 and 16, it says, "And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire." Real quick, another precept that came to mind. This is Obadiah 1 and 7. It says, "All the men of that confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him." That's right. So again, all the allies of America, of Babylon the Great, they're gonna turn on her, man. Those that eat her bread, that made money out of America, that became rich, they're gonna turn on that on the whore, man. It says back in Revelation 17 and 17, it says, "For the Most High hath put it in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of the Most High shall be fulfilled. And the woman which thou sawest is that great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth." That's right. And we always say, who has the last say in in world policy? Ultimately, America. Let's look up who is the biggest let's see, country. It says United States. Well, let's open up the article real quick. Most influential countries. It says the top 5 most influential countries. It says, whether through military power, alliances, food, or entertainment, countries have always sought to make their names known and have their influence felt. The 2022 most influential countries rankings are a companion to the overall 2022 best countries ranking from U.S. News or withdraw from the global survey of more than 17,000 people. The most, and these are not just regular people. Obviously, you know, these are professionals, economists, military people, you know, generals. They're not just going out to the hood and asking people what are the most influential countries. You know, it says the most influential countries rankings are based on how approximately 8,000 respondents who were considered informed elites, college educated individuals who consider themselves middle class or higher, who read or watch the news at least 4 days a week, associated various countries with five particular attributes: leader, uh, connected to the rest of the world, influential culture, political influence, and strong international alliances. It says these are the top five countries considered the most influential in the world. Number five is Germany. Number four, France. Number three, the United Kingdom. Uh, Number two, China. Let's read this real quick. It says the People's Republic of China, which has the world's second largest economy, has been a permanent member of the United Nations Security Council since 1971 and is home to one of the world's largest, one of the world's greatest and oldest civilization. A recent UN report, however, called further international attention to the Chinese government's, quote, arbitrary and discriminatory detention of mostly Muslim ethnic groups, saying the practice may constitute crimes against humanity. Whatever, that wasn't important. I thought it was gonna have something more edifying. But it says on the number one influential country in the world, it says the United States. It says a permanent member of the United Nations Security Council. The U.S. also plays a large and leading role in NATO and the World Bank, known as an known as an entertainment giant. The U.S. is amongst the top producers of feature films, which all of this is what influencing the minds of the people, because everybody's watching whatever America brings out, you know, Hollywood and all this other BS. It says uh, is amongst the top producers of feature films around the world. According to the UNESCO, it is considered the most influential country in the world. You see, so America, I have it right here.
Talking about that, I had to go get the light.
So America is the most influential country in the world, man, and it says right here, it says it plays a large role, a large leading role in NATO and the World Bank, showing you that the scriptures don't lie, man. What did we just read in the scriptures, man? That scarlet colored beast,
Yes.
that sitteth upon the scarlet
The stood on the scarlet colored beast.
the water, brother. My tongue got.
That's all right. A man
But-
slipping with his tongue, but not in his heart, brother.
But yeah, man, you see, so that whore that sitteth on the scarlet colored beast is America, man, because it says that what, and this is not from the scriptures. This is an article from this is what U.S. News, U.S. and World Report News. So America, Babylon the Great, has a large leading role in NATO and the World Bank, which is basically what controls everything, man.
Yep.
The World Bank is in charge of where money goes to, what aid goes where, you know,
Gets what?
who gets what, who
How much?
exactly.
Who owe what?
So if America is one of the leaders in these organizations, guess what? They're gonna have a big influence in what's going on worldwide, man.
Yeah, you'd be surprised about how much say so America has in the grand scheme of things, which is that's off the behest of the super elite. You know what I'm saying? The super elite keep them propped up. So, and America is a huge cog in the wheel of things.
That's right. Um,
So, like the brother was saying, America plays a big role economically, strategically, in the grand scheme of the world, man. And I got an article real quick as well. This is from yeah, it says how powerful is America, and this is an article from nowtufts.com or .edu. It says why is the United States the only superpower? It says so many advantages and strengths. The U.S. towers over its rivals worldwide, despite misperceptions of threats from China, Russia, says tough and political scientists. Because like a lot of times you hear things that like people like, oh, China, America is going to run up against China because China owns its debt. A lot of Americans, a lot of jakes that think they know about world politics and geopolitics, those are things that they say, but they don't understand how big and powerful America is on the world stage, you know? And it says right here, it says if you read the headlines on any given day, it seems like the United States is headed for a fall, which it is. America is headed for an extreme fall, man. And it's going to take the alliances of these different nations to take it down. See, again, we had mentioned earlier the concept of too big to fail. Well, America is that big, but it's still going to fall because the Lord Yahweh Shalom Shai established it to fall. He created this place to be the way it is in such a short amount of time. You know, as strong as it is, because He's going to show His power when he takes this place out, man. Because this place, America, is Edom's, the so-called white man's, the super elite, the Edomites talking about them first. This is their glory right here. They took it over. You know, they destroyed the people on there. They enslaved millions upon millions of people to establish this place, which those people were the Israelites, us. You know, they got away with basically wholesale murder and theft on a large scheme. But why all of that happened? It happens because the Most High wanted this place to be destroyed. You can read Romans chapter 9, where it says the Lord, I'll get it real quick. This is Romans chapter 9. It says, yep, for the scriptures, Romans 9:17, for the scriptures said unto Pharaoh, even for this same purpose have I raised up thee, that I might show my power in thee, and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth. Because when the Lord destroys Babylon the Great, America, His name is going to be known across the earth one more again. See, right now, it's us, the hopeful elect, that's praising and worshiping and fearing in the name of Yahweh Shalom Shah, and calling on the name of Yahweh Shalom Shah, and that believes through faith the power of Yahweh Shalom Shah. But the world, they're going to know it when the Lord actually shows His hand to you. One, by sending His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shah, a so-called black man who the world even thinks is a so-called white man named Jesus. And He's going to come back with the heavenly host of angels, which are our brothers. Yahweh Shah is our brother. He's our big brother. And they're going to come back and they're going to swarm this place with chariots, which the so-called white man calls unidentified aerial phenomenon, you know, UAPs. He's going to destroy this place by nuclear missiles. He's putting it in the minds of these different leaders of the world to go to war with this place, you know? What happened, brother?
No, I didn't know there was a cover.
Oh, yeah.
Borrow this from you, bro.
Anytime, bro. Anytime, man.
I got a bunch of watches and all of them are dead, man.
Yeah.
I gotta buy the batteries, but I didn't have the scale.
Okay. Yeah, I had it for a minute. for a little minute. What that look like, bro? Oh, that's nice and bright. So if it gets dark, but again, it said the Lord he propping up, because the modern day Pharaoh is Esau Edom, and he doing this. He gonna show his power when he destroys this place. So back in that article, it says that if you read the headlines of any, and I'll put this in the chat. I'll put this in the chat. The brothers want to read it with their own lesson on it. Y'all put it in the chat. So it says if you read the headlines on any given day, it seems like the United States is headed for a fall as rivals China, Russia push their weight around. But Michael Beckley, an associate professor of political science at Tufts, doesn't buy that. To him, this is the area of the U.S. This is the era of the U.S. as sole superpower, which these other nations, they're fighting and they're getting geared up and they're joining forces so that they can be a part of or be net superpower. But the net superpower is these people on this sign here, the Israelites, us.
Right.
Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shah. And it says, and the country's domination of the global order should continue for decades at least. In recent books, in his recent book, Unrivaled, Why America Will Remain the World's Sole Superpower, Beckley documents the multitudes of U.S. strengths and its rivals many weaknesses. That's not to say America couldn't decline due to domestic political division, which that's happening now too, and corruption, which that's been happening, and lose its sole superpower status. But overall, he says it is more likely to thrive. Institutionally, the United States is a mess, which it is. But China's system is worse. He said the United States is flawed, is a flawed democracy, but China is an oligarchy ruled by a dictator for life. Yeah, Xi Jinping. It's the wealthy people whom the so-called white man and elite set up in China to rule that place. China is nothing but a slave colony, man. Right. Even though it has investments and buy up, people be like, oh, China owns all this land in America. You know why? Because America don't have a goal that they promised them that they invested in this country. Because the super elite been robbed this place. It ain't no gold in Fort Knox. None of these banks hold large sums of gold bullion. None of them. Where's the gold at? Where I want the gold. Show me the gold. Well, the gold's gone, man. It's in the super elite's vaults, man. But it says again, but China is an oligarchy ruled by a dictator for life. Tufts now recently spoke with Beckley about his efforts to rebalance the view of the U.S. and its global rivals. The first, the United States has a huge lead by most important measures of national power. China is the only country that comes close, and America still has 3 times China's wealth, and five times its military capabilities. That gap would take decades to close, even if things go badly for the United States. Second, things probably won't go badly for the United States, at least relatively speaking, because it has the best long-term economic growth prospects among the major powers. Economists have shown that the long-run growth depends on a country's geography, demography, and political institutions. The United States has an edge in all 3 categories. Geographically, the United States is a natural economic hub, which it is. You see, America is vast, man. Fucking vast, bro. What is this, like 3.377 million square miles, man? This place is huge. And it says economic hub and military fortress. It's packed with resources and has more economic arteries, and that's why this place was called the New Canaan. That's why when Gad came over here, it was like the Garden of Eden over here, man. That's why gold was nothing, precious metals and stones was nothing to our people, and they didn't regard them in the sense that Esau did, right? So it says it's packed full of resources and has more economic arteries like navigatable waterways and ports than the rest of the world combined. Its only neighbors are Canada and Mexico. China, by contrast, has burned through its resources and is surrounded by 19 countries, many of which are hostile or unstable, and 10 of which still claim parts of China territory as their own. Demographically, America is the only nation that is simultaneously big, young, and highly educated. The U.S. workforce is the third largest, second youngest, most educated years of schooling, and most productive among major powers. And it's the only major workforce that will grow throughout this century. China, by contrast, will lose 200 million workers over the next 30 years and add 3 million senior citizens. Chinese workers produce 6 times less wealth per hour than American workers on average. More than 2/3 of China's workers lack a high school education, and 1/3 of Chinese young people entering into the workforce have an IQ below 90, largely as a result of malnutrition, poor care, and pollution. And when you look at China, man, China is a fucking polluted fucking place, man. They got the engine rolling 24/7, man. Fucking up the air quality is disgusting, man. You know? But then they'll make these Asians, these boots, these Chinese, these Japanese, the face of intelligence over here in America, man. And that's nothing but propaganda, nigga.
That's right.
You know? But it had mentioned that America had a whole bunch of ports. And that's in the scriptures, man. When you read Revelation 18, it speaks about the ships hanging off of the ports, the different ports in the sea, when they see the destruction happening to this place, man. Because America is that port city. Will you read that, brother? In the scriptures, before I came?
Revelation 17.
Go to Revelation 18. Let's get real quick. Just go to Revelation 18. Start at 1 real quick.
So Revelation 18 and 1, it says, "And after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory."
Lighted.
Lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, "Babylon the great is fallen, and has become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and the cage of every unclean and hateful bird."
Because that's what's going to be here once this place stop burning. Go ahead.
Verse 3, "For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies."
Now, skip over to verse 12.
Verse 12 says, "The merchants of gold and silver."
Remember that it said the merchants have waxed rich, right? So this side is waxed rich. Go ahead.
"The merchants of gold and silver and precious stones, and of pearls, and of fine linen, and purple,
And silk, and scarlet, and all that wood, and all manners of vessels of ivory, and all manners of vessels of most precious wood, and of brass, and of iron,
Remember
and marble."
the brother had mentioned, the priest had mentioned earlier that this is a consumer nation. Hey, just because Jake ain't getting it like that, don't mean these other nations ain't. They bring in, you got companies. I saw this thing in Florida on TikTok. It had mentioned that all these multi-billion-dollar businesses in Florida alone, and it was like, you got electric businesses, you got all kinds of data businesses, you got all kinds of. It said the #1 construction company or construction of homes in America is based in Florida, man, and they make over, I think, like $30 billion a year in revenue, man. So come on, bro. They take a lot of different things, and they're not just building the projects, man.
oh yeah,
They're building multi-million-dollar homes, luxury homes, all that shit. Go ahead, brother.
it says, "And cinnamon and odors,
And ointments, and frankincense, and wine, and oil, and fine flour, and wheat, and beasts, and sheep, and
horses, and chariots, and slaves."
and souls of men.
Go to 16.
Verse 16, "And saying, Alas,
Oh, sorry,
alas,"
15.
verse Revelation 18 and 15, it says, "The merchants of these things which were made rich by her shall stand afar off and fear
Of her torment, weeping and wailing.
And then they're not gonna be crying because the people are dying. They're gonna be crying because their industries are destroyed, man.
Right.
Because no other nation deals in mass as in commerce as America does.
Right.
And America is a port-rich country, man. There's ports on all sides of America, from the north, from the east to the west to the south, man. And they just be bringing it in.
And even in the north too, because Canada has that whole
Christmas
Oh,
bullshit, the trees selling the fir trees.
Oh yeah.
That's a multi-million-dollar industry
Hell yeah.
just in those few months.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and then obviously Canada got more shit too, but I mean,
But America is it.
yeah.
America is it.
No, I'm saying that
Oh, sorry.
it also provides Canada
Yeah.
with
Well, they do
money,
trade.
everybody.
And it's
Yeah,
open
hell
trade. It's open trade with Canada.
yeah. With everybody.
With
Fucking
everybody.
America
Yep. But
buys
those ports,
everything from
but those
everyone.
but those ports are mainly rich on the east, the west, and the south, man.
Oh, yeah.
And you saw that with that whole Evergreen situation. I think they were stuck over there in the Strait of Suez or somewhere. I forget where it was stuck at, but it was so bad that it stopped commerce all around the world, man. Especially here in America.
It says, and the merchants of these things
were made rich, and the merchants of these things which were made rich by her shall stand afar off from the fear of her torment, weeping and wailing, and saying, Alas, alas, that great city that was clothed in fine linen and purple and scarlet, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls.
That's how you know that that whore is a country. And that
right.
country is America, man. Yep.
It says, for in 1 hour so great riches
is come to naught, and every shipmaster and all the company in ships and sailors and as many as strayed by sea stood afar off and cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, What city is like unto this great city?
You know, that's America. What other America is that golden city? That golden
Right.
cup? You know, and matter of fact, you can take it home with you too, bro. Okay. Just give it to me when you're done. But yeah, America is that city.
Yeah.
That's what we reading about in chapter 17, Revelation 17, which speaks about the whore, you know, that sit up on the beach, man. You know, because when she goes down, ain't nobody gonna be sitting on the beach, man. And the beach is trying to create a system now where that global system, which is already the world is already in a global atmosphere. They work in tandem with one to another. That's why when the stock markets open up, man, they're focusing on these different countries, Japan, London, and in America, man. I think America is the last to open up.
Yeah, that's when the market moves the most.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you could have sessions where the Asian session is like, well, it never really moves that much. But you have London, it moves, but then everybody's waiting for that American session to open up, man, because that's what's moving everything, man.
Yep. That's right, man. So when this place is done, the effects is gonna be filled with it. And even David Rockefeller said way before he died that people say that his family is behind a globalistic cabal. And he said, of that I am guilty. You know, so they openly say it, man. They want a global why? They want a global world order. That's why all these different politicians across the world are talking about an NWO, man. And how it needs to come. And so they want to have a one world order via first, they already have it through the governments. All these governments work together. They already have it through the military. All these militaries work together. Now they have to have they want that financial one, that digital financial currency that's gonna go everywhere. So if you live in America, the digital dollar can be spent over there in the UK if you can make it over there. But guess what? You still gonna be on a ration over there. They're gonna know how much you spent, how much you bought, what you bought, when you bought, and really it's not gonna be a place of all this traveling and intercommerce between the average citizen. That's not gonna be happening like it is today. That's just gonna be a thing of the past, man. Like Klaus Schwab said. Klaus Schwab Rothschild said, man, you have nothing and you'll like it or you will love it, man. You will own nothing and love it, man.
They even have that
You know, they're talking about controlling everybody's carbon footprint.
Yeah.
So basically, if you want to take a trip to fucking Europe,
Mm-hmm.
or they're gonna calculate
Yeah.
your
your carbon footprint is this
Mhm.
much for the year,
Yep.
or you can't travel no more.
That's right.
Or you can't do this no more.
Yep.
You know, they want to have complete control over everybody's life, man. Be like the scriptures say, they want to be like the Most High, man.
Yep.
And have literal control of what you could and can't do, man.
Absolutely, absolutely, brother. And that's why in that interview with Aaron Russo, Al Jones said total control. What it is, they want everybody chipped. They want everybody a slave to them. And if you don't agree with their system, they'll cut the chip off and they won't cut it back on, and you can't survive. That's why the scripture says that no man might buy or sell. So when these other Israelite groups come up speaking against the MOTB, as the apostles and the elders and the brothers on down as we speak, you got to ask, what the fuck you talking about, man? And then you got to question their integrity. Then you got to question their doctrine. Then it's all these questions come up because what they say ain't matching up what's happening right now in front of us, man. Okay? When you look at the MOTB, this system is going to be a broad system across the board. This is the global, excuse me, this is the global capstone for the super elite, man. They want everybody a slave to them, man.
Right.
And nobody gonna be able to move unless they tell you to, man. And they're gonna have their proxies, they're gonna have their puppets standing monitoring you, man, through their AI, through that digital ledger called the blockchain. They're excited. That's why they got all y'all excited about so-called cryptocurrency. Like that woman said, the blockchain is not cryptocurrency, man. Cryptocurrency is some private shit. Nah, they talking about the balance on a public scale, man. And they want to control the masses and basically put you in a hardcore captivity. That's all it is. And we, as the Israelites, we don't have a part in that, man.
That's right.
We don't have you're never gonna, if you think you ain't private property, you got people that got swaths of land. That's just gonna be a thing of the past. Why? Because the people with swaths of land can create their own food, and they'll give benefits to certain people, but that's very few, far in between. And again, it ain't none of these people on this sign here. A lot of you sellouts of our nations, the worst of our people, the base of our nation, that are held and exalted in this world today, they're going to use you as a tool to manipulate your own people into rolling with this thing, man. And again, it's just like it started with the juice. It was through we're gonna get bugs because of the light, but it was through these influential old ass celebrities that they brought out, old and young, so-called celebrities, to entice you to do it. At first, they try to give you burgers and fries and tickets to games. Then they got your celebrities to come out and implore you to do it. Your old ass civil rights leaders to implore you to do it. And a lot of you followed suit. Then they use distress. And a lot of you followed suit. Fear and loss of jobs. Fear and loss of money, food, recreation. You know, your new recreation under the NWO is gonna be what? A metaverse, man. Sponsored by Meta, formerly Facebook, man.
Man, and even in that fake world, you know, you can't even be a part of the good stuff.
Yeah.
Because guess what? To have access and to be, you know, to have land or houses or whatever in the metaverse, you need money too, man.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, how much more if you can't have access to exclusive shit and, you know, the fun things in the metaverse, what makes you think Esau's gonna make the real thing accessible to you Jakes, man?
And they show,
especially to you Jakes, man.
They showed an example of that in that movie Ready Player One. People lived in abject fucking poverty, man.
Hell yeah.
On top of each other, man.
And that was their escape.
And their escape was fake money, digital money that they could use in a digital world, and they could be any and everything they want. You had men being women, women being men. Like that one character, it was this big character, he looked like a man. It was a fucking dyke black bitch, man.
Oh yeah.
Controlling the avatar, man. And you got the dude's mom and dad or stepdad, they were just fucking weirdos. And the nigga had to sell out to get this new equipment because this nigga was like the anomaly, and they want to try to, we're gonna make it free for everybody. You know, this dude, he goes and finds the key to the whole damn thing. You know, it was all bullshit, man. And it was set up by some Edomites and an Edomite company that was controlling it, man. You know? And that's no way to live. The Lord didn't create us to live like that, man. Earth was made up for a paradise for man to dwell upon it, man. He made it, he gave, can you give me Deuteronomy 32 and 8? Baba Gashar? Deuteronomy 32 and 8.
So Deuteronomy 32 and verse 8, it says, when the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam, he set the bounds of the people according to the number of the sons of Israel.
Right, so every nation has an inheritance, man. The sons of Israel got the best inheritance, which was the land of Israel.
That's right.
And that was just the beginning, because in the end, when it's all said and done, our borders are going to be enlarged. Our borders are going to be stretched from Egypt all the way into Mesopotamia, which is modern day Iraq, man. We're going to control basically all those areas and where we was captives at, man.
That's right.
Syria, all of Syria is belonging to us. Saudi Arabia, all of that, what you call today, Saudi Arabia is going to belong to us. Just look up Abraham's blessing, man. That's something that Esau is trying to do via his technology and the Greater Israel Project, man. They're trying to get it carnally, but it don't belong to them. But nonetheless, that's our inheritance, man. And really, the whole earth. The earth was made for our sake. It wasn't made for these heathens. It was never made for you heathens to do the things that you're doing today, which is complete idolatry, man. I don't know if you saw that video Elder Yashawamba did, posted up on a 2-through page that he got, and an East Indian idol building was raided and destroyed, and then they sprayed Exodus 20 and 3 on there. And when you read Exodus 20 and 3, it says, "Thou shalt have no other God beside me." And that's spiritual, because it's going to be a visitation on all the idols of the world, man. That's in Wisdom of Solomon chapter 14.
That's right.
When Yahawashi comes back, and that's the establishment, the beginning of the establishment of the kingdom of heaven that's written in the scriptures. And the only ones that's going to truly benefit from that, who is for, in the end, is for Israel. Get Acts 1 and 6.
Acts chapter 1 and verse 6. It says, when they therefore were come together, they asked of him, saying, Lord, wilt thou at this time restore again the kingdom to Israel?
Right, because the kingdom is supposed to be restored unto Israel, not the world, man. There's no Christian Israelite, spiritual Christian Israelite people of all nations, man. No, it's people of the same flesh and spirit, man. All spirits are not the same. You can tell the spirit of a Jake versus the spirit of an Edomite or an Elamite. You nations, you heathen nations, you've been getting the best of this world for millennium, bro. Our people had control over it for real, only for like, what, 80 years? And that's under 40 years under David, 40 years under Solomon. You know what I mean? And even when David was fighting for the kingdom, man. Hey, just like he's doing now. Just like he did standing next to Yahushua as Peter. You know? He was fighting to establish it, and through his son, King Solomon, who was Yahushua in the reincarnation, okay? If you can understand it, you have ears to understand, he established it, man. And guess what? He's coming back to reestablish David's throne and dominion, man. You know? And so here it is. The kingdom of heaven is for Israel, man. It ain't for the whole, it ain't for you other nations, man. Get Jeremiah chapter, 3, verse 20, between 24 and 26, where it says, truly in vain is salvation hoped for from the hills. I think it's toward the end. Right there.
Jeremiah 3 and verse 23 says, truly in vain is salvation hoped for from the hills and from the multitude of mountains. Truly in the Lord Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, our power is salvation of Israel.
Right, because salvation, that was it.
Yeah.
Salvation is of Israel, man. And that's all throughout the scriptures, man. But people like Vocab Malone, these so-called Christians, 2/3 of our own people, those that are in Christianity, those that are in some other idealistic or idol worshiping theology or ideology, they don't believe that. And then our people, they don't even want that. You want a universal society where you will never be equal to these other nations, man. You don't want a society where the other nations are not going to be equal to you. And then you're scared. What you scared of a righteous society for? Look at this place, man. You can't see it now, it's dark. But hey, this whole world is in gross fucking darkness. And guess what? We're the light in the world. That's spiritual. That's spiritual, brother.
Yep.
We got a late start today, Salakia, but hey, we're gonna keep going because the spirit is strong tonight, man. Because at the end of the day, the kingdom that's coming, yeah, it's gonna be fought with a lot of it's gonna be tough for y'all nations. Shit, just us getting it, the scripture says we're gonna have to go through much tribulation, man. But once we receive it, we're gonna be established as a righteous society, a kingdom on the earth. Proverbs 29:2. And I'm not a precept genius. The spirit is on me right now, man.
This is Proverbs 29 and verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn.
That's right, man. So the world is looking, these people, actually, they don't want to admit it, but they're looking for a righteous rulership so that they can rejoice, man. But that righteous rulership don't mean a rulership of idolatry. That shit's going to be stomped out.
That's right.
Because this is where it got us as a nation, first and foremost, where we are oppressed, always underneath of the heathens. This is where it got you heathen nations fucking up the earth, starting off with Esau. Some people were crying on that video. I got it set up so we can do a lesson on it, Lord willing. But hey, you can do your own lesson. When you watch the video, you're gonna see this bitch was crying because the shrine got fucking destroyed. And then they had a video. I guess they either rebuilt this shit. It's Jake's up in there, man. Niggas, bro. Straight up Israelites fucking worshiping a shrine to, I think, to Cali, man. And that shit done even real. It was a spirit that it was destroyed. Somebody said, this Edomite, he's like, oh, it was some Christians that destroyed this. It was some Christians that destroyed this, and that don't you know that was sacred to those people? Excuse me. That was sacred. But it wasn't shit sacred about that fucking idol worshiping, man. Because that's what got us in the condition that we're in now. So you think that the Lord is going to allow that to happen? In our kingdom, it's going to be no idolatry, nigga. You're not even going to have a chance to do it. If you think about doing it, put to death. Immediately, on sight, in front of everybody, man. See, all that grace that vocab like to talk about, that's for us on this side. The Israelites, we're under grace. These other nations, they're not under no motherfucking grace. These other nations, they just waiting to be destroyed and put into captivity. Under Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, King David, the rest of the 12 apostles, and the rest of the holy elect, the governing body, 12,000 men from each of the 12 tribes of Israel, man. And in that kingdom, ain't gonna be no grace for y'all, man. Y'all gonna have to follow this law, such a commandments by iron. Get Revelation chapter 2, verse 26. It might be 25, but I think it's 26. You're not gonna have no time to worship Kali or Beelzebub or Satan or any other idol that you come up with, which that's what all that shit is anyway. Satanism, demon worship, man. Is it? It says shall rule the nations with a rod of iron. Shall I give a rod of iron to rule the nations? Yeah. Yep.
Revelations 2 and verse 26. And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power to him will I give power over the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron, as the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I received of my father.
And where's the Lord received that of his father? Psalm chapter 2, Salakia. Psalm chapter 2, where it says that the Lord is going to give the heathen for thine inheritance, man, and the uttermost parts of the earth unto you, man. Roughly paraphrasing. And
just like, you know, in Wisdom of Solomon, it says that the worshiping of idol is the beginning and the cause and the end of all evil, man.
Yep.
If us knowing that now, seeing and looking at all the things that have done in the name of idol worshiping, man, what do you think is gonna happen in the kingdom, man? We're gonna have the ability to read people's minds, to do many things, man.
You know, so like the elder was going into, man, there's not gonna be no mercy in the eyes of I mean, for you heathen nations, man, when it comes to idol worshiping. You know, when it comes to wickedness, period, man. Because we know where it's gonna lead. That's why the Lord put us through this whole trial, man. Because that's what it is.
That's right. Hey, that's hey Salaki. Hey, Rakshah Yahweh Shai. Hey, it's a chariot over there, brother. You can see it right there. Lincoln, and I try to do a thing. You know, cameras fucking suck, man, but it's right there watching us, man. The eyes of the Lord are upon us, man. What they're capable around them that fear of the Lord, man.
That's right.
Go ahead, brother. I'm sorry.
No, but yeah, man, you know, we know via our captivity, our punishment, where wickedness leads, man. So in the kingdom of heaven, there's not gonna be no room for forgiveness of sins, man.
Not for you
know,
heathen
for
nations.
you heathen nations.
Only for us, man.
Ultimately, we're not gonna be sinning.
Yep.
But yeah, for you heathen nations, man, you're gonna have to abide by the rules, man, with fear and trembling, man.
That's right, man.
Because we're not gonna be like, oh well, you know, you committed idolatry. It's all right, man. You know, just do better. Like, nah, we're gonna public execution, man.
Yep.
We're gonna gather your family, your hometown, your nation, and say, look, you motherfucker, this motherfucker try to do this, worship this idol, do this, do that. If it's worthy of that, right in front of everybody, man. So that evil could be put out, man. The scripture even says that evil shall be quenched.
Yep.
That's right. Ultimately, what? Destroyed, man. And it's gonna be how? It's not gonna be through love. People think that well, they say Jesus is gonna come and convince the world through love, not to be evil no more. Like, just, oh brothers, please come, let's get together and hug and let's talk about. Like, nah, man. The Lord's gonna use his nation, his chosen nation, to bring forth what? Righteousness upon the earth, man. Yeah, and it's gonna be via a rod of iron, man. Because those millennia of idol worshiping and all these heathenistic cultures is not just gonna be talked into you, man. No. I mean, talked out of you.
No, it's gonna be
beat out of you, man.
Yeah, because they became stumbling blocks unto us, man. First and foremost unto us, and then men.
That's right.
Because it's Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai that do all things, create all things. There's nobody above Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai.
That's right.
Ain't nobody and ain't nobody there to tell Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai what to do, when to do, how to do it. No. Kali, the Lord ain't sitting up in the heavens with his son in a round table of fucking idols, man. Hell no, man. Hey, this is Wisdom of Solomon 14:1. Again, Wisdom of Solomon 14:1. It says, again, one preparing himself to sail, about to pass through the raging waves, caught up upon a piece of wood more rotten than a vessel that carries it. Right, because you got they'll get on a boat with a cross or some shit, or some type of idol and rub it and answer for a blessing. And it says, for verily desire of gain devised that the workman built it by his skill. So the workman was thinking about, how can I make some money? How can I get some influence? Well, let me create this God. I'll create this fanciful story behind it, and I'll sell it, man. And that's why a lot of those jakes that were selling those idols got mad at Paul, because he was fucking up their money. Just like these Christian churches today is getting mad at the apostles and the elders and the brothers on down, the brothers that's pushing the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai in faith and in truth. They're angry because it's fucking up the church's money. These Christians are trying to get biblically educated now. They're trying to become biblical scholars now. Back in the day, before when I was coming up, man, these pastors ain't know shit. Only thing they knew was, I should have bought a Honda, but I bought a Hyundai. And God loves everybody. And give me your money. And we had to watch these motherfuckers with their ill-gotten gain flex on us. Their families was in order because they're rich. Their wives is in order because they so-called rich. Which in reality, it was a lot of wickedness going on in their households, but they didn't want to tell nobody. And they were robbing the poor. You know? But that's because it was their desired gain. It says, but thy providence, O Father, governeth it. For thou hast made a way in the sea and a safe path in the waves, showing that thou canst save from all danger. Yeah, though a man went to sea without art, nevertheless thou wouldest not that the works of thy wisdom should be idle. And therefore do men commit their lives to a small piece of wood, passing the rough sea and the weak vessels are saved. It says, for in old time also, when the proud giants perished, the hope of the world governed by thy hand escaped in a weak vessel and left to all ages a seed of generation, a seed left up to all ages, a seed of generation, right? And that those that were saved in that weak vessel was Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth and their wives, man. 8 souls, man. When the Lord flooded, because they were doing the same shit they doing now, they did before the flood, during the flood, until they were all taken away. Now they doing the same thing until they be taken away with fire. And it says,
yep. So like to cut you off, and guess what? In the days
of the flood, man, you think these people weren't calling on all their fucking idols?
and
And
what happened?
what happened?
Nothing
No,
helped.
nobody survived besides Noah, who was worshiping who?
Yahweh
Bashim Yahushai, man.
And it says, but that which is made with hands is cursed, as well as it, as he that made it. It, made it. He, because he made it, and it, because being corruptible, it was called God. So that idol Kali that was destroyed, I mean, they destroyed that motherfucking temple, bro. They fucking destroyed that shit to the ground, yo. They called law Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, man. I was like, damn, hey, the Lord, man, hey, the Lord, he's showing up, man, and it's gonna be bigger. Because when we come out of them chariots with those new bodies, man, we're gonna go through the whole world and wipe out all of those megaliths that y'all got of idols, man, from Buddha to Allah to Christ. We're gonna demolish them. Shit's gonna be saved so that we can kick them shits over, man, and turn that shit into powder, man. Turn that shit into powder and make and I don't know if we're gonna make y'all eat it, but you're gonna be fucked up, man. And you ain't gonna have no God to call on, man. But Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, man. And 2/3 of our people that's steeped in idolatry, man, you're gonna be put to death. You're gonna be put to fucking death, man. Because the rebels of our people gonna have to be purged out too. America just gonna be the example for all the world to see. Hey, this is what happens when you do idolatry. Because America is the high seat of idolatry. The highest seat, man. I mean, it happens on a whole nother level over here, man. To the point where you wouldn't believe it if you saw it with these human eyes, man. It says, for the ungodly and his ungodliness are, but that, verse 8 again, but that which is made with hands is cursed, as well as he that made it, because he made it, and it is because he made it, and it, because it being corruptible, it was called God. For the ungodly and his ungodliness are both alike hateful unto the Most High, man. And who's the most ungodly man on the earth? You saw Edom. That's you hateful amongst the Most High, but you got our people trying to save this nigga, trying to give him spare speeches and try to find a way for salvation for him. He ain't looking for it for you. Wait till this shit pop off, man. Wait till helter skelter happen, man. Out here, man. Wait till famine happen out here. You're gonna see if these Edomites thinking about your best interests, man. You're gonna see. Hey, like that one dude that's running for Senate in I think it's Louisiana or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this nigga said, hey man, he said with all the crime that's happening, and who they show? A bunch of jakes, man, robbing people and shit. He said, y'all wanted to defund the police? Well, guess what? Next time something happens, call a crackhead, man, and see if a crackhead's gonna come to your help, man. But you gonna call a crackhead, a cop, Allah, Buddha, God, Jesus, and none of them gonna save you, man.
That's right.
None of that shit's gonna help you, man. And it says, verse 10, for that which is made shall be punished together with him that made it. Therefore, even upon the idols of the Gentiles shall there be a visitation, because in the creature of the Most High they are become an abomination, and stumbling block to the souls of men, and snare to the feet of the unwise. And that's what the unwise, those men are Israelites, man. Our people, they're unwise in understanding the power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, man. You know? Matter of fact, I'll show you real quick. I had just watched it right before I came to camp. Yeah, right here, right? So, I went to the TikTok. I
Yeah, no, and like it's like the scriptures say, you know, they became a stumbling block to the people of the Lord, man. And this is why, again, Jake is in such a bad condition, man. Physically, mentally, you know, Jake is out of control, man. And why? Because they followed after these gods, man.
Yeah, here it is right here. This is the page right here. Giving, Rachi, and then yeah, you got what you crying for the idols? Who would do these things? Why people doing these things? And then you see Exodus, then it got it right here.
Well, that's what it looked like before.
Yeah.
Nothing but witchcraft, that bullshit,
And then
man.
this shit right here. So these are East Indians. Jake. Jake. That was Jake. Look at this shit. Here they is, they crying for the idol. Who would do this? Yahweh and put Exodus, read, it says read Exodus 20 and 3. Because it's an idol. And this is what the shit look like to Kali. This is Kali, man. And then you got Jake's up in there worshiping this shit.
And that's the spirit, because yesterday, remember I was telling you I was watching that.
Look at that nigga. Salakia, brother. Salakia, brother. Look at this nigga. It's a Jake right here, yeah? Hold on. Hold up. That's a Jake, man. That's an Israelite, man, yeah? Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, after I watched that documentary on the drug shit in Colombia, some random video popped up, and it was, I think he was like an Argentinian dude, and he went out there to that river where the East Indians be.
Oh, the Ganges?
The Ganges, yeah, bro. And then he was explaining like what they believe in and shit, and I was just like, yo, and they worship that god or Kali, whatever. And these motherfuckers, they go and burn the dead bodies and shit in the river, and the ashes fall in there. And then he said how there's some bodies that people don't have enough money to buy enough wood to burn.
Yeah, they just
so like they just throw them in and shit. And these motherfuckers be in there washing themselves, drinking it, shit, brushing their teeth and shit.
And that ain't the only thing they dump in there. I mean, there's a video on there, the Ganges, the filthiest river in the world, and they say they dump tons and tons of bodily waste in there. It actually smells like shit.
Yeah,
the dude started to throw up. He was like, it smells like shit.
And then the dude went during like low tide season or whatever.
Yeah.
And then he was he went to a certain point, and then he was saying how like, oh look, these are the mantles where they wrap the bodies up.
Yeah.
Bro, and it was like a piece of the river where you could tell that there was water before. And there was just like a bunch of those fucking mantles just on the fucking on the riverbed, man.
Well,
and like those motherfuckers, the East Indian motherfuckers be there washing, drinking the water. I'm like, yo, these heathens are fucking...
And they believe that it's going to heal itself, man. They believe that Ganges River is going to heal itself. It's not.
And they even have some other wild motherfuckers that are like on the other side of the river, which basically they say that is like bad luck, I guess, or whatever. It's prohibited for the people that believe in that Hindu bullshit to go over there. Like, people don't go there. And that over there, there's another tribe of Hindu motherfuckers that believe in eating the carcasses that the other ones throw in there. I was like, damn, cannibalism, the fucking man. Heathens, bro,
and that's again, those are stumbling blocks, man.
They were called the black hit. Some motherfuckers, them niggas were
But
wild. I
they're
was
nothing
like,
but
damn,
idol
bro,
worshippers
like,
and heathens, man. Straight up heathens, man. And you see that shit. They worship rats over there, and let's say reincarnated relatives and shit. That's filth, man. Pestilence over there. Rats have a purpose, but it ain't to be worshipped.
The black aguri.
Elephants, yeah, the black aguri.
I was like, damn, bro, these motherfuckers are crazy. And then you had Esau's dumbass.
Oh yeah,
Somebody
they were about
from
to eat him.
CNN.
He was gonna eat him.
Yeah, and then he was like giving him like human meat and shit, bro. I was like, what the fuck?
And they told him to get up. They told him to get out of there, or they gonna eat him. The one dude started cussing him out in their language,
Yeah,
man.
bro. I was just like, yo, what the fuck? The heathens are through, man. And that's why the Lord's gonna make that visitation, man. Because again, we spoke about this, you know, before, that idol worshiping, man, is just the ideas of men.
Yep.
You know, like a man or a multitude of men, you know, just sat around and were like, you know what, the rain falls this way or whatever, so there has to be a rain god, you know, so the rules of the rain gods is this or whatever, it has to be this, you know, and the scripture says that what, the mind is wicked above all things, who may know it, man.
This is Deuteronomy 4:14. The Lord Yahweh Shai commanded me that at that time to teach you statutes and judgments, that ye might do them in the land whither ye go over to possess it. Take ye therefore good heed unto yourselves, for ye saw no manner of similitude on the day that Yahweh spake unto you in Horeb out of the midst of the fire, lest ye corrupt yourselves and make you graven images, the similitude of figures of the similitude of any figure, the likeness of male or female, the likeness of beast that is on the earth, the likeness of any winged fowl that flieth in the air, the likeness of anything that creepeth on the ground, the likeness of any fish that is in the waters beneath the earth. And lest thou lift up thine eyes unto heaven, when thou seest the sun, the moon, the stars, even all the hosts of heavens, shouldest be driven to worship them, to serve them, which the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai thy God have divided unto all nations under the whole heaven.
That's right, because the Lord spoke to Israel, man, out of what? Out of the chariot, man. He showed his power. These other fucking idols, like we mentioned before, it's just ideas and thoughts of men. But Yahweh Bashem Yahushai actually showed himself to Israel, man. And Israel was so fucking afraid, they told Moses to go deal with the Lord, man, because of how afraid they were. And these were mighty men that had just fucking, you know, experienced a bunch of shit, the complete darkness, you know, and ultimately men back in the ancient world were tougher, man. So it wasn't just like a bunch of like weak men that were just like, oh no, we're so afraid, no. Like these were real men. And they told Moses, like, nah, Moses, you go talk to him. You know, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai never showed himself as an idol, as a nothing. So that what? So that we wouldn't
build nothing, create nothing, because a nigga do that.
Yeah.
And you see how we were fervent whenever something spiritual happened to us, we would make an altar in the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Well, remember, we spent 430 years in Egypt. So Jake was steeped in idolatry all throughout that 400 years. But the Lord gave us a pass and brought the whole nation out.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Mind you, 30 years prior to that 400 years starting of captivity there, we knew our power. We knew Yahweh. We say by Hashem in the name of Yahweh Shai, in the name of someone, we knew Yahweh through our forefather Jacob. And then our patriarchs. You know, Joseph, he knew Yahweh, but he lived in Egypt, and he worshiped Yahweh in Egypt, man. But he still had to conform to some of them Egyptian ways, man. The cutting of the hair, the cutting of his beard. But he refrained from idolatry. He refrained from idolatry and adultery. They tried to get him. They got him locked up for a supposed case of adultery with one of the men, the high ruling men of the Pharaoh's house, man. And Yahweh Bashem Yahushai delivered them. Right. So our people knew it, but then, mind you, 400 years, man, that's a long time, bro. And Jake, that's why when Moses was risen up in the house of Pharaoh, and Yahweh came to him and told him what to do, he's like, who should I tell him who name and who's coming? What is your name? He said, oh, tell him Yahweh, I am, have sent thee, man. Or Yahweh have sent thee, you know? So here it is. This, again, that idolatry was a heavy burden, man. And we live in a world, the world we live in today, is completely saturated in idolatry. Get 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 1. Start at the top. It's saturated in idolatry, man. It's completely saturated and overrun with idolatry, man, in every aspect of it, man. You can look anywhere in the world, anything that you do, there's some idolatry there, man. And that's why we got to get the hell up out of here, man. Because it's corrupting us, man. And that's why, if it wasn't for the remnant that the Lord set down here, we'd be consumed, man. And that's why the Lord shortening these days up, too. So that, because if not, no flesh will be left to be saved. We all be corrupted down here, man. No? What?
So 2nd Ezra 15 and 1 says, Behold, speak thou into the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true.
Yeah, these words are faithful and true. They're going to come to pass, man. They're coming to pass. The fact that we're standing up here in front of this sign shows you that the word of GMSHAWAII is true and coming to pass, man. You got Jake talking about well, that's the white man's Bible. He used that to enslave us. Yeah, he used it as a tool, but he took out a whole bunch that pertains to your salvation. He took out a whole bunch that took out aspects of the Bible so that you wouldn't get your hands on it, read it, and then want to revolt. Like some of the men like Nat Turner, Denmark Vesey. You know? Why? Because this word, it speaks to us, man. It don't speak to these other nations, man. That's why when they try to break it down, they got a fucked up way of doing it. Hey, the brother had showed me these Japhets, they got a house that's a so-called church, man. And they call themselves worshiping the Lord over there and shit. Dressed like heathens, doing heathen shit, eating heathen abominable food. You know they eating pork over there.
Oh, hell yeah.
Like a motherfucker, man. They love that shit. So they over there doing those wicked things, and they actually believe that the Lord is working with them. They go to church on Sunday. Them niggas ain't know nothing about the Bible until the 1800s when Esau brought it over there to them, along with the Edomite version of Christianity, man.
That's right.
White supremacy.
Verse 3, 2nd Ezra 15 and 3, Fear not the imaginations against thee, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee.
Yeah, because you got a lot of unbelieving about people, man. The Lord told us don't fear that, man. And we don't. Hey, can you check this thing? Oh, I got it. We live. Go ahead, brother.
It says, 2nd Ezra 15 and 4, it says, For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness.
So for all the unfaithful, who's the unfaithful 2/3 of our people? They're gonna die in their unfaithfulness, man. Huh? See, we're gonna live in our faithfulness, but they're gonna die in their unfaithfulness. And even if we perish on this side because we refuse to take that MOTB, we did that through the faith of GMSHAWAII. We're gonna come back first with GMSHAWAII on the chariots, man, taking over this fucking place, man.
That's right.
And our reward is still gonna be with us, man. So either way, it's a win-win for us. It's a lose-win situation for 2/3 of our people. You're gonna have to lose on this side, die a horrible death by pain for taking that MOTB. Then you're gonna be going back knowing the truth. Then you're gonna be ready to put your hands on Esau and the rest of these nations, man. And in the kingdom of heaven, you ain't gonna be asking a goddamn question about Esau and his salvation, about these other nations and their salvation. You ain't gonna even think about them people, man. All you're gonna know is putting a foot up Esau's ass, man. For deceiving you. I'm saying, and you're gonna know, you're gonna be thinking GMSHAWAII the whole way, man. That you're an Israelite, man.
That's right.
Go ahead, brother.
Verse 5, Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction.
Those are plagues, man. So when you see mass death happening to 2/3 of our people and these heathen nations, that's a plague the Lord is sending, man. When you see, death, destruction, when you see mass destruction happening across this fucking place, that's the plague the Lord is sending upon this place. Them nuclear missiles are a plague that's going to sweep this place clean, man. And that's the icing on the cake, man. That's the final nail in the coffin, per se, man. Because after the Lord destroy your armies in that Third World War, and it ain't gonna be a long one either, it's gonna be short-lived. In 1 hour, this place is gonna be destroyed, man. All 50 states, man, all the 9 regions of this place, gonna be, or the 10 regions are gonna be destroyed, man. The 10 regions of this place is gonna be completely annihilated, man.
That's right.
All the borders of this place is gonna be confused and melted, man. So you're not gonna know where one city started or where it ended, or one state began or where another state began. You're not gonna, one state ended and where another state began. You're not gonna know that, man. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 6. For wickedness has exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled.
Yeah.
Therefore, saith the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they have profanely committed, neither will I suffer them in those things which they wickedly exercise themselves.
Yeah. So, and that start with Israel.
That's right.
That start with our people, and then it trickles down to these other nations, man. The Lord is not going to allow this to continue, man. This place, and then look at this place that we in. You can tell it can't keep going on like this, man. It's coming to a quick and fast end, man. When this man think that he gonna crown his jewel, his new world order with his jewel, which is the MOTB, the C-hip, the Karagma, the chip, guess what? It's over for you, man. When you make that shit mandatory, game, man. Here come Jordan in the 4th quarter, swinging it, man. Swinging it. Bow, bow, bow. And that Jordan, the real Michael, the real power, GMSHAWAII. He gonna send his archangel Michael to come down too. He loves war, man. It's time to get busy, baby. It's been a long time coming, man.
That's right.
Hey, Sam Cooke was right, man, when he said it was a long time coming. But I know change is gonna come, man. And that change that's gonna come is a righteous change, man. And we are in desperate need of it, man.
That's right. Like Apocalypto and X-Men said, "Oh, you humans have destroyed the earth for too long, man."
Yep.
You know, and hey, that's exactly what GMSHAWAII has in his mind. Like, yo, you've been doing way too much wickedness. It's time right now to fucking destroy all that shit, man.
Even Thanos said it, man. Thanos said it, man. He said, look, man, a culling is coming. It has to come, man. It needs to come. Even though he was talking about world overpopulation, but really the world is overpopulated with wickedness, man.
Wickedness over.
And GMSHAWAII is the true Thanos. He's the true apocalypse. He's the true dark side, man.
That's right.
In reality, them cats wasn't bad. The
Hell
bad
no.
people were the X-Men.
Yeah.
But the real righteous X-Men is us, man.
That's right, because those superheroes are nothing but idols, man.
Yep. That want to preserve their way of life here on this earth, man.
Which is wicked.
And will do anything to stop it, man. Every time you turn around, you got an LGBTQ superhero popping up out the woodworks, man. Now all these niggas is getting faggots and they just accepting it. Yeah, but then you get mad when you paint one of these fantasy characters a so-called black or Latino person a Jake, man. Yep. Y'all get all up in arms for that. Ariel's black, but nobody got mad. No, but nobody gets mad at the fact that these other characters are gay. Nobody got mad that people are into the LGBTQ agenda, man. You know, nobody gets mad at that shit. You know, you don't get mad that you got something called a woman king running around here, man. All strong and black and powerful, man. You black bitches are already ugly and masculine. Don't nobody want that shit. Nobody want to go to the movies and see that shit.
Which one?
The woman king.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, it's coming. It's out. It's out. I mean, we can go check it out and we can do a video on it. But I guarantee you, first 5 minutes you're gonna be pissed off. You're like, brother, hey man, I appreciate it, man. I gotta go home, man. And I'm like, I understand, brother. I'm going too. Well, we'll see it when it comes on HBO Max or something, man. And we'll do a lesson on it.
Black Panther 2.
Yeah. Well, that's gonna be a feminine driven thing, man. The bitch up there in front of the UN opening her fucking mouth, talking and shit. Don't you get tired of the black woman, man? Hey, T'Challa did. So you acting like you can't replace this nigga with somebody? He played that good of a T'Challa that you can't replace this nigga? And you get blessed with fucking Terrence Howard and Iron Man, man. The nigga asked for more money. You put Don Cheadle in his role, man. You know what I'm saying? What the fuck? Why you can't replace T'Challa, girl? He ain't play that much of a role. No, you did that because you want to put the woman on a pedestal, man. And every time you do that shit, the shit sucks, man. It's trash, man.
Hell yeah, the movies just become. Yeah, I don't know. I was watching that Thor one, Loving. And
Oh yeah, that was terrible, man.
I was like,
that was
oh
fucking
my
terrible.
goodness, this shit is terrible.
It was terrible.
I would have been upset if I went to the movies and paid for that bullshit, bro.
Hey, the nigga Chris Hemsworth said it. He said the script was fucking basic as hell, man. He was like, a kindergarten could have wrote this shit, man.
Hell yeah. But women and the world is like, oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, you got bitches rolling
women.
around on a fucking Pegasus, and she's gay. The black, but in real life, the bitch is pansexual anyway. But her character is super fucking lesbian out, man.
Even the fucking the Rock dude, bro. I was
Oh,
like,
this
what
nigga married a
the
dude with a
fuck?
mustache,
Yeah.
man. What the fuck, bro? Even the Rocks is gay? We gotta get the fuck out of here, bro. This ain't right,
Yeah.
man. It ain't right, man. It's like, you're pushing that shit down our throats, and we gotta swallow this shit, man. And every movie, we just leaving out more and more disappointed, man. It all started with that fucking Captain Marvel movie, man. Everybody was mad at that shit. Then we went to go see the Doctor Strange movie. Motherfuckers were mad up in there, like, what the fuck? Why'd you put that in there, yo? And then that one movie that was, the new Doctor Strange movie, it had a little girl. She was a Latin chick. They call her Latin X. I don't know what that's a new preference now. Latin X. That's not her character, but that's her.
No, yeah.
Her ethnicity type.
Yeah,
Then
she had 2 moms and shit.
I was in there. Everybody was in there. It was like, why? Some dude yelled out and said, why? Why did you even bring that up? What significance does that even matter?
Yeah,
You didn't have to play that shit, bro. But they had to do it because they had to push that vibration, man. And Marvel ain't just get on board, but they been on this shit. I grew up in an era where you read comic books, man. All that shit was in the comic books, and we didn't see it coming as children. We just thought it was like, oh man, powers, Wolverine, and all this other shit, man. You know, we just thought that, oh man, this is this. But in reality, the real X-Men, that shit is there to degrade the real X-Men, which are the elect of Israel, man. And we're gonna be endowed with spiritual powers to take this place over, even before we get the new bodies, man. Yahweh Shema Shah gonna turn our spirit up 144 degrees, man. And we're gonna take this bitch, man. We're gonna be out here doing things that we know we didn't think that we could ever do, man. Flying in these bodies, man. These fucked up, decrepit, wicked, filthy bodies, man. The Lord gonna turn that righteous spirit that's within us up, man. It's gonna control it, man. And you ain't gonna be able to do nothing against it, man.
That's right.
That's in the scriptures, man. That's why the scripture says that it said in the beginning of 2 Ezra 15 that these words are what? Faithful and true. It's been a long time, man. It's been a long time since y'all seen us in power. I had called you the other night because I was watching something, and it showed me that these nations don't want us in power, bro. I don't know what I was watching, but it was decent. I don't know if it was a video, I don't know if it was a movie, but I had saw it and I called you up. It was kind of late, Slakia, but I had called you up and I was like, I was gonna tell you, hey bro, they don't want us in power, man. They do not want us in power. They scared, man. The super elite, these other nations, they scared for us to regain that power that was written about in 2 Samuel, King David's mighty men.
Even our women, bro.
Yeah, they don't want it. They don't want to see us in a righteous kingdom, domicile of kings, man. They feel like, oh man, if they got that shit, it's the worst thing. Like these bitches are scared to go into captivity. Like, bitch, you about to be the biggest thing to slice bread on this bitch, man. But you want to be out here liberal. You want to give that pussy to everybody. And then you want to demand that a man of older age bend to your will and to your timetable. Bitch, you should have thought about all that shit before you were eating a fucking house and a cow. You should have thought about all of that before you were opening your legs to every Tom, Dick, and Harry, man.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Now it's time for order. Order. The Lord said, let all things be done in decency and order. And this place is out of order, man, and it's not decent. Right. And y'all don't want us to be in rulership, but you gonna get it. Get Romans 8 and 17. Romans 8 and 17. You're gonna get it. You're gonna get it, man. Because that's the way it's supposed to be. The man, how about Shawaii? The man, the woman, then the children.
That's right. Romans 8 and 16, it says, the Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the sons of the living power.
That's right. So the spirit of GMSHAWAII is likened unto us.
Right.
You read the scriptures, you're like, that's us, man.
Yep.
From the curses to the blessings, man. You're like, oh, that's us, bro. We're going through that, man. And the nations were fearful that we would wake up one day and come to this, and they know it always starts with the man. That's why it's such a major attack on the Israelite man, from the so-called Negro all the way down to the so-called Hispanic man, Latin, Native American men. They're destroying our men left and right, man. Whether it be by the means of their own hands, which they put it in their hand anyway, to the philosophies, to the mindset of our woman. It's a constant attack on us, man. Why you fighting against us ruling, man? We about to be sitting on thrones, every Israelite man, and we're not going to be beefing with each other, killing each other for the throne. We're not going to be coveting after anybody for the throne. And our throne's not going to be left to our daughters, man. It's going to be left to our sons, man. And guess what? We're going to be here while they here.
That's right.
We're going to be on thrones like they're going to be on thrones. Eternally, bro. And you don't want that. But yet, this sodomite, Yuval Noah Harari can sit up there and tell you that a small group of elite people who own the algorithm are going to be gods on the earth, and the vast majority of the people are going to be nothing. They're not going to get no upgrade except that CHIP. Where they're going to be under total control of the super elite. You're not getting that. You're not going to manufacture a blessing, nigga.
That's right.
It's already set in stone that the Lord loved us and hated you, Esau.
That's right.
Go ahead.
It says, Romans 8 and 17, and if sons, then heirs of the Most High, and joint heirs with Hamashiach, if so be that we suffer with him,
right,
that we may be also glorified together.
Right, because Yahawashi is going to get the kingdom. It's 18. Yahawashi is going to get the kingdom, but guess what? We're going to be joint heirs with him. We getting it too. We're going to be glorified with him. Just like right now, we suffering with Yahawashi, man. We did it in the ancient world, and we're doing it now. And the Lord seen us through it every way. He's with us. He's standing right next to us, side by side, man, along with our brothers, the heavenly host and angels. And you can't see them, but there be more with us than it is with them.
Right.
Go ahead.
Verse 18, it says, for I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us.
So no matter what we going through at this time, brothers, it ain't going to compare to the glory which we about to receive, man.
That's right.
We're going to get them new bodies. We're going to get that spiritual upgrade, the physical upgrade, man. We're going to get everything back. We're going to get our respect. We're going to get our dignity. The first one that's getting it is Yahawashi and Yahawashi. And then we're going to get our respect and our dignity, okay? We're going to get our bodies back. We're going to get our powers. We're going to be re-endowed with our powers. The same ones we had with Yahawashi and Yahawashi before the foundation of the earth, man.
That's right.
We're going to get all that back, man. And some. And more. We're going to own planets, bro. Fuck a house. That's nothing. Man, that's like Section 8. To us, we're like, what? You look at them big ass fucking sprawling fucking acres of homes that these Edomite devils have, man. Nigga, that shit is cheap, nigga. That shit is made of what? Wood, stone, and plaster, mortar. What? We ain't gonna live no shit like that. Our shit ain't gonna have no mold in it. It's gonna be moldless, man. It ain't gonna have no rats, roaches, mice, ants, no pestilence, no death, none of that. And on top of that, we're gonna have planets, nigga. Planets! Planets, brothers, planets, bro. You're worried about a street, a block. We're gonna have planets, man. And we're gonna have heathen servants on there working for us, man.
That's right.
Go ahead.
It says, for the earnest expectation of the creature waited for the manifestation of the sons of the living power.
Yeah, because these other nations, they're waiting for us to rule, man. Because they tired, man. Look at them. They beat up. They fucked up, man. Only the small group of their own people get to thrive in the world while everybody else lives underneath of them while they're towering over them in complete poverty, bro. Hey, you men, you out here talking about this, every man want one woman. Nah, man. In the kingdom of heaven, every man, starting with the Israelite man, is going to have multitudes upon multitudes of wives, man. And plethoras of children, because guess what? Y'all going to have to bring workers, man. We need workers, man. We ain't doing this shit. Our wives ain't doing it. Our kids ain't doing it. Our wives ain't even gonna cook. Huh? Unless that's something you really want. What I don't see why you would. But hey, our wives gonna have chefs that cook for us. She gonna make sure that they prepare that food for us.
They're gonna have the knowledge of how much to put, and they're just gonna be pointing. Oh, put this much, this, push that, put
That's
that.
right, and you better do
my
it right.
husband likes it this way.
Yep.
So flip the steak over there.
That's right.
But they're not gonna touch nothing.
They ain't gonna touch shit, man. They're gonna be directing the way.
That's right.
I don't know if they're gonna be standing in the kitchen. I don't know if they just gonna tell you what to do, but you're gonna get that plate on time. It's gonna be just hot as we like it, or cold, whatever's cold we like. Just the exact amount. We're gonna be so, hey, like that nigga, like everybody's mad at King Charles because he is the way he is. He's a king. He's supposed to be that way, man. Even though he's unrighteous, man, he dropped something. He called a man five flights up 5 flights of stairs to pick it up for him. No, man. But guess what? We're gonna be ordering them up. We're gonna be so meticulous in the kingdom, bro. It's gonna be nauseating to the average heathen, man. Not to us.
That's right.
And then when we ready to eat, our women gonna sit us down. They might sit on our lap, put our little napkin on our chest and stuff. Make sure it covers our garment very well. And she gonna feed us, man. She ain't gonna rush it either. She gonna be looking at her phone while she feeding you, like getting the shit all over your face, stab you in the eye with the fork. Nah, bruh. She gonna live to do that shit. And then she gonna wipe your mouth, answer you full, and give you some of that box.
That's right.
That she gonna give you dessert on a platter. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The concubines, oh yeah. It's good to be the king. It's good to be the king. And we're not gonna surround our life. Our life is not gonna be around that revolving around that shit either, man. That's just a perk, bro. Hey, we out here getting busy, bro. Hey, brothers gonna call each other up spiritually. I don't know. We ain't gonna have no cell phones. We gonna be connected, bro. Are you ready, brother? Come on, brother.
Right.
Yeah, I knew. Hey, we ready to go, man. You know what I'm saying? Before we present ourselves in the sight of Yahweh Shah, we definitely gonna be clean. We're gonna be clean, so we ain't gonna even worry about being soiled in front of them, man.
Just like in this society, man. You know, in order for what you brothers and sisters see out here in the world, the you know, infrastructures, the bridges, the everything, man, the mansions, everything has to be planned out.
Oh man, hold on, brother. The battery said the battery was low.
At all?
No, it's back to me. I see it's frozen. Oh, we good. We got that.
Yeah. Everything you see, man, it took time to build. It took, you know, minds to come together to plan all these things, man. The kingdom of heaven, you know, the scripture says that no eye has seen, nor ear has heard, nor has it entered into the hearts of men, you know, the things that the Lord has prepared for those that love him, man. And the things that come with that kingdom is gonna be that. You know, our homes, our palaces, man, our planets, everything is gonna have to have a build to it, man. A infrastructure, a way of running things. So the men of the Lord are not just gonna be, you know, that's why the women think we're gonna be doing just fucking bitches.
Yeah.
Like, nah, man, we're gonna be out there creating the world, you know, in righteousness, man. We're gonna be, you know, obviously we're not gonna do it, but gathering the materials, making sure everybody's working, overseeing stuff, making policy. Because it's not just gonna be a world where everybody's free. Like, nah, man, the Israelites are gonna be free. We're gonna even amongst us, there's gonna be rules. You know?
It's gonna be levels, man.
That's right.
Everybody ain't gonna be able to just like right now in this world, there's levels to what you call so-called celebrity, man. You don't see Michael Jordan on a regular. You only see that nigga when he want to be seen, man. You don't even see Jay-Z on a regular, man. You can't go to his house and just show up on his doorstep and we here to eat, bro. Nah.
Hell no.
That's not gonna happen. But when we want to see you, we're gonna see you.
That's right.
We're gonna be amongst each other, getting busy, doing our thing, being amongst Yahweh Shah, Lord, willing, we part of that holy elect, the remnant, the saved.
Yeah, and that's what's gonna be the highlight of our existence, man. Being with Yahweh Shah, you know, and learning from him, man, and discovering, man, you know what it is to not. We don't know shit, bro. Like, compared to Esau, man, even though Esau has not discovered most of the things in the world, man, Jake, us, you Israelites, man, you don't know nothing that's out in the fucking world, man. You know, some of you say, oh, I travel the world. You don't know shit, man. You haven't been nowhere. You haven't done nothing except what Esau gives you access to, man. Esau really has gone out there and searched out the world. You know, they get to fly places where nobody goes, take boats to places, go on the man, shit that you can't even imagine.
Yeah,
And we're gonna have that access to do all those things, man. We're gonna be able to go out of space,
Yep.
you know, go
different
in the
universes,
depths of the
different
water, all
different,
that stuff,
different
man.
universes, different planets. We ain't gonna need no specialized suit to do it either, man. We always gonna be able to operate the chariots. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be able to have hosts of angels amongst us, man. We're gonna because those are our brothers anyway.
Right.
So not only if our brothers on this side of the hopeful elect, but then also too the holy angels, man. They're gonna be with us, man, and we're gonna be rolling. We're gonna know how to maneuver the whip, you know, the chariots. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna land on planets. All those planets, Mars right now, these different planets that you see right now, they're in their baby stage right now because the only thing that's the focus right now is Idon, which is the Earth right now.
Right.
This is the main focus, man. But all those other planets are gonna be either they're gonna be in a baby stage or early elemental stage, or Yahushua is out there working on mansions for us too, man.
Or we could even say as far as Yahushua is saving some of them for us to go and create more
Yeah, and
stuff.
do our thing. You know what I'm saying? And let us get busy, man. Because he already working on stuff for us right now. He wasn't just sitting up in the heavens just chilling with his feet up. He was doing things for us, waiting patiently for his father to tell him to come get us, man.
Because it's like, Salakia, you know, it's like when
The superheroes get the new powers, right?
Mm-hmm.
like they don't know how to control it right away. It's like you got to learn from the master, man.
Mm-hmm.
So something that I always imagine is like, you know, Yahushua is gonna be like, all right, brothers, you know, take the 144,000 men. Let's go over here. He's not gonna tell us where we're going.
Yeah.
But we go and he's gonna call us by our names. Like, hey, go pay your house to do this, boom, and he's gonna tell you, oh, do it this way, do it that way, and then boom, you're gonna create something.
Yeah.
You know, and then another brother, and then by the time we're done, it's gonna be something majestic, man.
Super majestic.
You know,
man.
and we're gonna be like, damn, call Lord
How about
Yahushua.
We're like, man, I didn't know that. Hey, that's why Paul
man.
said, man, hey, this is not even gonna compare, man. You're gonna be like, what?
That's right.
I can do what? Hey, man, if you want it, brother, that's what you want. That's what you got. Turn around, look. Oh,
right.
call Lord Yahushua, man. The water, man. And close it out, brother.
Hey, so with that, Akim, we hope camp was edifying. Again, all praises, honor, and glory going to
Yahweh,
Ba'ashem,
Ba'ashem,
Yahushua,
Ba'ashem,
Ba'ashem, double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone, and peace salutation to all you Akim out there pushing and defending his gospel throughout the four corners of the earth, as well as to you believers in Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua. Hey, shalom until next time.
Brother.